Douluo, I am the ice archer, my ice power is invincible. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author, we do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76 Xiao Han is humiliated. Douluo did not go with Tang San and his group, but quietly followed them. He wanted to protect Tang San secretly, and at the same time look for an opportunity to attack Xiao Han. However, with the two deans of Xianshu College escorting him, and the two colleges of Shenfeng and Zhiruo following him, he could not act rashly. Douluo was fighting with Guimei, and gradually lost the upper hand. When Yu Guan was about to attack Tang San, Jian Douluo and Ning Fengzi suddenly appeared. Seeing that the situation was hopeless, the two elders had to leave with a group of men in black. After this disaster, the Shrek people were still in shock. Tang San said, "Uncle Ning, thank you and Grandpa Jian for helping me. Xiao San, we are all of the same blood. Now that you are in trouble, how can we stand by and watch? No need to say polite words. The Spirit Hall has already attacked you. I advise you not to go to Spirit City to participate in the finals. If you don't mind, I will send someone to escort you back to the Seven Treasures Glazed Sect with Uncle Gu here. I will definitely guarantee your safety." Tang San shook his head. "Uncle Ning, I appreciate your kindness, but I will definitely participate in the finals." In the preliminaries and promotions of the Xiandao division, Shrek Academy was beaten by Blazing Academy and Xianshu Academy one after another, and gave up the game twice when it met Shenfeng Academy. Tang San and the Shrek people were holding their breath and wanted revenge in the finals. Therefore, they would not give up the finals easily. Ning Fengzi sighed and said, "Xiao San, since you have made up your mind, then go ahead. Uncle Jian and I will do our best to ensure your safety." After Ning Fengzi and Jian Douluo left, Douluo said to Tang San, "Xiao San, I think you underestimated Bibi Dong's determination. This time, the two elders Zhu and Gui personally went to the battlefield, which is enough to show how much she values you. When she arrives at Wuhan City, if she really wants to attack you, even with me, Sect Master Ning and Jian Douluo, I'm afraid it will be difficult to protect you." Tang San smiled disapprovingly. "Old monster, I know what you are worried about. But, what if my father is here too? What? Is Clear Sky Douluo here too?" Douluo looked around, looking surprised. Tang San continued, "Old monster, do you still remember the first time I used the Clear Sky Hammer? If it weren't for my father's secret help, I would not have been able to take back the Clear Sky Hammer." "You mean, Clear Sky Douluo has been watching you in secret?" "Well, I guess so." Douluo nodded with relief. "Very good. No wonder you are so confident. With Haoshan Douluo here, they can't touch you." Douluo looked at the Xianshu Academy team behind him while speaking. "If I'm not mistaken, Xiao Han is also one of the targets that the Spirit Hall wants to kill. However, the strange thing is that Zhihuagun doesn't seem to have taken action against him. Is it possible that they have surrendered to the Spirit Hall or reached some kind of agreement with the Spirit Hall?" Douluo frowned, thinking. "As far as I know, the three elemental academies have no dealings with the Spirit Hall. It is unlikely that they will surrender to the Spirit Hall, but it is possible that they have reached some kind of agreement in secret. It would be great if that were the case." Tang San's face showed an intriguing smile. The outstanding performance of the young spirit masters of the three elemental academies of Xianshu, Shenfeng, and Zhiruo has attracted the attention of Emperor Zuyi, especially Xiao Han, who is the strongest. If they do not surrender to the Spirit Hall, after the Spirit Master competition is over and they graduate from the academy, they will be promised by Emperor Zuyi to be granted titles and fiefs, and even be reused. But, if they really have secret connections with the Spirit Hall, then Emperor Zuyi will not use them anymore. In this way, Tang San's chance has come. Tang San has a plan to form the Tang sect, and has already dealt with the Power Clan. If he can get support from the Empire, his plan will go more smoothly. On the other side, in Xiandao City, Xiao Gang, holding the Pope's order, came to the Pope's hall unimpeded to meet Bibi Dong. Seeing Xiao Gang, whom she had been thinking about day and night, again, Bibi Dong was excited, but pretended to be calm. Xiao Gang spoke first. "Bibi Dong, after so many years, you are still as young and beautiful as before, but I am old. Are you okay? I am the Pope, what's wrong with that?" "Xiao Gang, please be careful, I am no longer the silly Bibi Dong." "Yes, Pope. I was rude just now, please forgive me." Seeing Yu Zhigang so humble in front of her, Bibi Dong was secretly happy and snorted coldly, "Why did you come to me, Pope? I want to ask you how you overcame the difficulty of the twin martial spirits back then, Yu Zhigang. As far as I know, you haven't broken through level 30 yet. It seems inappropriate to ask such a waste." Bibi Dong's sarcastic words pierced Yu Zhiagang's heart like a sharp blade, and also pierced her own heart. Her heart was painful, but there was also a sense of pleasure of revenge. Yu Zhigang was humiliated by Bibi Dong and felt ashamed, but he still suppressed his anger and forced a smile. "Pope, to be honest, I have a gifted disciple who also has twin martial spirits. That's why I came to ask you for advice." "Really? The person you are talking about should be Tang San, right? So you already know." Bibi Dong suddenly stood up and said seriously, "Yu Zhigang, do you really not know what the twin martial spirits of Blue Silvergrass and Clear Sky Hammer mean? That child does have some connection with the Clear Sky sect, but he is not a member of the Clear Sky sect. You are still conservative, let me say it for you. It means that he is the bastard of Tang Hao and the 100,000-year-old soul beast Blue Silver Emperor, a monster born from the combination of a soul master and a soul beast. Can he live in the human world?" Yu Zhigang suddenly felt something was wrong. "What do you want to do?" Bibi Dong sneered. "I have sent people to kill that evil creature. Perhaps he is already dead." "Bibi Dong, you dared to attack Tang San. If anything happens to him, I will break up with you and become your enemy in the spirit hall." Yu Zhigang roared helplessly in front of his former lover to vent his anger. Bibi Dong was also angry. "Yu Zhigang, you and I haven't seen each other for many years, and you actually want to break up with me for a bastard? Are you really so ruthless?" "Bibi Dong, take a good look at yourself. Over the years, Spirit Hall has indeed become increasingly powerful under your leadership, but it has also done many evil things. Sometimes I even doubt whether you are still Bibi Dong, Yu Zhigang. I am in this day thanks to you. You cruelly abandoned me back then, and later disregarded ethics and morals to get together with your cousin. You are really a pair of dogs and bitches. I just want to torture you and let you witness with your own eyes that your loved ones leave you one by one. First it was Tang San, and then it was Liu Erlong. They all died a miserable death. Crazy. Bibi Dong, you are really crazy." Chapter 77, Bibi Dong. Just as Yu Zhigang was about to leave, a guard suddenly came to the hall in a hurry. "Get lost. Didn't I say that no one can enter the hall without my permission? Your Holiness, the two elders are back and are waiting outside the hall. They said they have something important to report. Let them in." Yu Zhigang was not in a hurry to leave, and wanted to hear what news they brought back. Bibi Dong looked at Yu Zhigang, with a bit of pride in her eyes. She also wanted Yu Zhigang to hear the bad news about Tang San. Yu Guan and Gui Mei walked into the hall with heavy steps, looking a little panicked. Bibi Dong felt something was wrong. "Two elders, what do you want to report? Your Holiness, please forgive us, we failed to complete the task." After hearing this, the stone hanging in Yu Zhiagang's heart fell immediately. He looked at Bibi Dong, with anger in his eyes. "Bibi Dong, the friendship between you and me ends here. If you dare to touch Tang San again in the future, I will do my best to retaliate against you in the spirit hall. You are such a bastard, you dare to shout in front of me? Just watch, I will definitely kill him. Get out of here." Yu Zhiagang glared at Bibi Dong, and then left the Pope's hall without looking back. Bibi Dong was heartbroken as she watched Yu Zhiagang's gradually blurred back. Seeing this, the two elders lowered their heads and dared not speak. Bibi Dong calmed down and asked, "What happened?" Gui Mei replied, "Your Majesty the Pope, we almost succeeded, but at the critical moment, Douluo, Jiandao Chenzin and Ning Fengzi appeared one after another, so we, Douluo actually dared to wade into this muddy water, and Ning Fengzi is getting more and more courageous. I'll remember the account between Douluo and the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect first, and I will deal with them sooner or later." Bibi Dong suddenly thought of Xiao Han. What about Xianshu Academy? They don't have the support of a titled Douluo-level expert. Yu Guan answered bravely, "Your Majesty, Xiao Han and I have some fate. I want to pull him into our spirit hall. Please give me some more time." Bibi Dong glanced at Yu Guan. "If he can join the spirit hall, I can spare his life. I'll give you some more time, thank you, Your Majesty." "Okay. The failure of this mission is not entirely your responsibility. Go down first." "Yes." Yu Guan and Gui Mei were both relieved. Unexpectedly, Bibi did not blame them after the mission failed. After the two elders left the Pope's hall, Bibi came to the place where Xiao stood before, sucking the air around him hard, trying to feel the breath left by Xiao. Xiao, I haven't seen you for so many years, why are you still so ruthless to me? I really don't want to hurt you. When can you understand me and read my heart? Zhu King led the Soul Master team and got closer and closer to the Spirit City. At the beginning of the Soul Master competition, Xiao Wu's soul power had reached level 39. On the way to Wuhan City, she had been practicing hard, hoping to break through level 40 before the finals. On this day, Xiao Wu successfully broke through the bottleneck of level 40. She couldn't wait to tell Tang San the good news. Tang San was very excited. Great, you finally broke through level 40. After you get the Soul Ring, our Shrek team will have another Soul Master, and our strength will be further improved, brother. I don't need to hunt soul beasts to get the 4th Soul Ring. I can get it through self-condensation. There are too many people in the big team. It's not appropriate to get the Soul Ring directly here. I need to go out. I have been thinking about a question recently, whether to confess your true identity to everyone. Xiao Wu shook her head. Brother, let's not do it for now. We are about to enter the finals, and I am afraid that it will affect everyone's mood. However, you can tell Erlong's mother first, okay? Tell her when you go out with teacher Erlong, okay? Afterwards, Xiao Wu and Liu Erlong went out together and joined the team in Wuhan City. With the 4th Soul Ring, Xiao Wu's soul power increased by 1 level, reaching the 41st level. The 4th soul skill is the invincible golden body. This soul skill gives her absolute defense below the 3-second god level and doubles her strength. Wuhan City is not big, only 1/6 of Xiandao City, but it gathers a large number of soul masters. Xiao Han and his party lived in a hotel on the west side of Wuhan City. There were 3 days of rest before the finals officially began. During these 3 days, Xiao Han and Shui Binger adjusted their conditions to the best. The day that people are looking forward to has finally come. Early in the morning, all participating colleges came to the competition venue under the guidance of the special personnel of the Wuhan Hall. This competition venue is located in the center of Wuhan City. The huge arena has a diameter of 100 meters. It is all built of granite and reinforced with huge soul guides. Each college has a separate rest area built around the competition venue, where you can watch the competitions of other colleges. There is a VIP judging seat on one side of the competition venue. Representatives of the 2 empires and some elders of the Wuhan Hall are watching the game there. There are also spectator seats, but there are not many seats, which can only accommodate a few thousand people. Only Soul Masters can enter the venue to watch the game. Right in front of the stadium is the Pope's Palace. It is less than a kilometer away from the Pope Mountain. The Wuhan Palace has posted a notice that the final 3 will be held in the square in front of the Pope's Palace. At that time, Pope Bibi will appear in person and present awards to the final champion. There are only 5 rounds in the finals, and there will be a day of rest and adjustment after each round. There are a total of 33 participating teams. In addition to the 3-seeded teams that were sent in, there are 15 teams from the 2 empires of Xiandao and Xingluo. The first round of the competition will be held today. 3-seeded teams will have a bye, and the remaining 30 teams will compete for 15 qualifying places. In this round of competition, Xianshu College's opponent may be any team except the 3-seeded teams. One game determines the winner, and the cruel elimination system will definitely make each team fight harder. Soon, Lin Zhiruo brought back the results of the draw. Xianshu College's opponent today is the Botanical College. In the promotion match, when the Botanical College met the Xianshu College, they gave up the match voluntarily. This was their first encounter in this Soul Master competition. The process of the finals was relatively simple and more direct. After a cardinal briefly introduced the participating teams and matches in the first round, the match started directly. The main players of the Botanical College are all girls, and their strength is not strong, so Lin Zhiruo did not send Xiao Han to play. Under the leadership of Shui Binger, Xianshu College easily defeated the Botanical College. Xianshu College won the first place in the promotion match of the Xiandao division. According to the bye rules of the finals, after they won the first round, they had to bye in the second round and directly entered the third round. Chapter 78 Strong Opponents, Seeded Teams. The first round of the competition was over, and there was no suspense. The top 5 colleges in the Xiandao division all won their first victory. Xianshu College had a bye in the second round. In the second round, the three-seeded teams all defeated their respective opponents. The overall strength of the Wuhan Hall College team is not bad. The team has 3 War Soul Kings above level 50, and the other 4 main players are all War Soul Sect above level 45. Therefore, their performance has attracted much attention. However, in this round of competition, the Wuhan Hall team did not send Yan, Ziyu and Hulina, and the 3 of them did not even show up on the field. With only the other 4 main players and 3 substitutes, they easily won the game. Soon, the third round of the competition came. According to the rules of the competition, the second-ranked teams in the Xiandao and Xingluo Empire divisions had a bye, and the other 8 teams played in the knockout rounds. The winners will enter the fourth round as the top 6. When the competition reached the third round, there were almost no weak teams left. Therefore, no matter who Xianshu College's opponent is today, Xiao Han will play. Not long after, Lin Zhiruo came back with the results of the draw. Kids, your opponent today is a seeded team, Xingluo Royal Academy. Xiao Han was a little surprised when he heard this. Why is it Xingluo Royal Academy? Except for the 2 teams that got byes, there are only 7 teams left, so it's possible to draw anyone. What? You don't want to meet them? No, I'm just asking casually. Xiao Han knew that according to the original plot, Shrek Academy would meet Xingluo Royal Academy. Maybe it was because of his appearance that affected the development of the matter. Lin Zhiruo continued, in the 3 previous Soul Master competitions, Xingluo Royal Academy won the championship once. Although it is a royal team, the players are all capable, unlike the noble children of Xiandao Royal Academy. As a seeded team, the overall strength of Xingluo Royal team is the strongest in the Xingluo Empire division. In the last game, they were reserved and did not send out all the main players. As far as I know, there are 6 Soul Masters in their team, and the Captain Davis and the Vice Captain Zhu Ian are close to the strength of Soul Kings. So, you must take this game seriously and don't be careless, understood? In this game, Zhu will rest, Xiao Han and the other 6 main players will play, then, Lin Zhiruo also made tactical arrangements. Soon, the referee announced today's match and the order of appearance. Xianshu Academy vs Xingluo Royal Academy was ranked first. Shrek Academy and a school of Xingluo Empire were ranked second. Blazing Academy and Thunder Academy were ranked third. Wuhandian Academy and Xiandao Royal Academy were ranked fourth. The match between the 2 seeded teams is exciting. Today, the 3 Soul Kings of the Wuhan Hall team have appeared on the field, and they should all play. The game has not officially started yet, and the participating colleges are waiting in their respective areas. Each of the winning teams today may become the opponent of their team in the top 6, so they will watch the next match carefully and try to understand as much as possible about the opponent's strength and flaws. After learning that the opponent of Xingluo Royal Academy is Xianshu Academy, Daimube was a little disappointed and full of reluctance. He urgently wanted to defeat his brother Davis to prove that he was no worse than Davis and regain his position in the Xingluo royal family. He knew that in front of the powerful Xianshu Academy, Xingluo Royal Academy did not have much chance of winning. If Xingluo Royal Academy lost, then they would have no chance of meeting. Damn it! Why didn't our Shrek Academy run into them? Boss Dai, what's wrong with you? Another important purpose of my participation in the Soul Master competition is to defeat Xingluo Royal Academy and join forces with Hu King to defeat Davis and Zhu Ian. It seems that there is no chance. Boss Dai, what's going on? It's okay to tell you now. Next, Dai Mubei told Tang San and the others the reason why he and Zhu King came to the Xiandao Empire. Tang San comforted, I didn't expect that your 2 families would have such cruel competition rules. Since you can't change this fact, just accept the arrangement of fate. As long as you defeat stronger opponents and win the Soul Master competition, it can also prove your and Zhu King's strength. Third brother is right. It's just right. We can first see how Xianshu Academy responds to the martial soul fusion skills of the White Tiger and the Nether Spirit Cat. Well, we should also be prepared for the opponent to be Xianshu Academy and see how much trouble the Nether White Tiger can cause to them. Dai Mubei nodded slightly, and he felt better. Following the referee's announcement, the contestants from Xianshu College and Xingluo Royal College slowly entered the competition venue. The eyes of several people from the Spirit Hall College team were instantly attracted to the competition venue. Look, the male player from Xianshu College has finally appeared. I heard that guy is the strongest student in the Xiandao division, and the overall strength of their team is also very strong. They have never lost in this Soul Master competition. Listening to the discussion of his teammates, Yan smiled disdainfully. How strong can they be? That's because they haven't met our Spirit Hall College team yet. That's right. The final championship must belong to our Spirit Hall College. Hulina stared at the competition venue and said, Brother, Yan, have you two forgotten the instructions of the Ghost Elder so quickly? If we don't win the championship, we will be thrown into the Death Canyon. The Xianshu team is the biggest obstacle for our Spirit Hall team to win the championship. With 3 Soul Kings and 5 Soul Sects, their overall strength is not inferior to ours at all. Don't underestimate the enemy. When mentioning the Death Canyon, Yan and Ziyu were trembling with fear. Nana, aren't your worries unnecessary? With you and the captain's martial soul fusion skills, we will definitely win. Stop talking nonsense, just watch the game carefully. Yan said no more and turned his attention to the arena. Xiao Han's appearance caused a sensation. The Soul Masters who were watching the game started to discuss. Isn't Xianshu College a women's college? How did a male student sneak in? Is he so outstanding? He didn't play in the first round of the competition, but this time he was able to play against the stronger Xingluo Royal College. He must have some strength. In this Soul Master competition, both the Xianshu team and the Xingluo Royal team are very strong, but there can only be one winner. The result of this game is still hard to predict. The game is about to start. Just watch carefully. On the ring with a diameter of 100 meters, the players of both sides arranged their respective formations. Chapter 79 I'll still blow you up. At Xianshu College, Xiao Han and Shui Binger stood at the front of the team, and the other 5 stood in a row behind them. At Xingluo Royal College, Davis and Zhu Zuoyan stood at the front of the team, and the other 5 stood in a row behind them. Before going on stage, Xiao Han told Shui Binger and the others to try their best to stop Davis and Zhu Zuoyan from performing the martial soul fusion technique together. If they succeeded, he would be the one to deal with it. On the ring, Davis looked very similar to Daimyo Bei, but he was a little taller than Daimyo Bei. He looked at Xiao Han with arrogance in his eyes. A male student has sneaked into Xianshu College. Did you get in through the back door? Xiao Han sneered and retorted, you are in your 20s and have the best training resources of the royal family, but you haven't even reached level 50. Are you a waste? How dare you insult me? Get it clear, this is Wuhan City, not your Xingluo Empire. Your identity as the Prince of Xingluo is nothing here. Xiao Han's words made Davis speechless. He glared at Xiao Han, wishing he could tear him to pieces. Zhu Zuoyan gently touched Davis. Forget it, don't bother with him. I'll teach them a lesson later. Although Zhu Zuoyan's tone was light, her eyes were full of provocation. Xiao Han would not tolerate it just because she was a woman, so he retorted again, it's still uncertain who will teach whom a lesson. To tell you the truth, Daimyo Bei has been beaten by me, but I felt sorry for Zhu Zuoyan and let her go. You two are not much stronger than them, so don't be so arrogant. I will beat you up later. You? Zhu Zuoyan's face turned red with anger, and she said no more. Before the game between the two sides officially started, a strong smell of gunpowder filled the field. When Xiao Han talked to them, he did not deliberately suppress his voice. The hearing of Soul Masters is much better than that of ordinary people, and Daimyo Bei and Tang San heard their conversation. Xiao Han's words mocking Davis and Zhu Zuoyan were like cold blades piercing Daimyo Bei's heart. Daimyo Bei was furious and clenched his fists. Damn it, you're insulting me again. I won't be a human being if I don't take revenge. At this moment, the referee's voice came through the loudspeaker. This match is between the Xianshu College team and the Xingluo Royal College team. The loser will be eliminated directly, and the winner will enter the top 6. You can release your martial spirits. The match will officially start in 1 minute. Davis and Xiao Han looked at each other, and their eyes suddenly became domineering. Brothers, open your martial spirits. With Davis's roar, the 7 players of Xingluo Royal College released their martial spirits and spirit rings at the same time. As Lin Zhiruo said, there were 6 4-ring soul lords and only 1 3-ring soul master in their team. Davis and Zhu Zuoyan stood in the front. They had the most powerful aura and the strongest soul power fluctuations. They were indeed close to the strength of Soul Kings. There is no doubt that this is the strongest opponent that the Xianshu College team has encountered so far in this Soul Master competition. But they were not panicked at all. Xiao Han and Shui Binger also released their martial spirits, bringing a more shocking effect. Shui Binger's body was burning with 5 soul rings of yellow, yellow, purple, and black. What was even more shocking was the soul ring on Xiao Han's body. The moment the 5 soul rings of yellow, purple, black, and black appeared, there was a cry of surprise from the audience. The male student of the Xianshu College team turned out to be a War Soul King. The 2nd soul ring has reached the 1,000-year level, and the 4th soul ring has reached the 10,000-year level. At the same time, a War Soul King with 2 10,000-year soul rings. This is too explosive, right? No wonder he was able to enter Xianshu Women's College. He is really extraordinary. Seeing the scene on the field, the Wuhan Hall Academy team was all stunned. They were given a bye in the first round and did not show up on the field. Xianshu College was given a bye in the second round. So, this was the first time they saw the Xianshu College team release their martial souls and soul rings on the stage. Yan, Zi and Hulina learned about the strength of Xianshu College from Gimini. However, they still found it unbelievable to see Xiao Han's soul ring configuration with their own eyes. Yan grinned. That boy actually has 2 10,000-year spirit rings. But I still firmly believe that the final championship belongs to our Wuhan Hall Academy. Hulina's eyes became more fierce. That's right, no matter what, we will definitely win the championship. The other 5 girls of the Xianshu Academy team all have the best spirit ring configuration of yellow, purple, and purple. The Xianbingbo and Ice Phoenix flashing with cold light exuded a piercing chill, which made the opponents shudder. Before the game officially started, the overall momentum of the Xingluo Royal Academy team suddenly decreased. Davis and Zhu Huiyan realized that the boy in front of them was not bragging, and he really had the strength to beat Dai Mubei. How is this possible? He is not even 20 years old, and he has already broken through level 50, even though the facts were in front of them. Davis and others were reluctant to believe it. The game begins. With a referee's announcement, this eye-catching game finally began. Binger, fight quickly and decide quickly. Understood. With a sudden flash of the first spirit ring, Shui Binger instantly activated the first spirit skill, Ice Ceiling. At the same time, Xiao Han spread his icy wings and soared into the sky. A layer of crystal clear blue ice instantly enveloped all 7 members of the Xingluo Royal Academy team. Xiao Han swooped down from the air, and his 5th soul ring flashed at the same time. Blizzard arrows shot out from the air and headed straight for the ring. Bang! Bang! With their strong souls, Davis and Zhu Huiyan were the first to break through Shui Binger's ice blockade. Just as they were about to launch an attack, a blizzard vortex came over their heads. The entire ring was suddenly submerged by the blizzard. The temperature around the ring dropped suddenly, and the soul masters who were watching the game also felt the cold. Those with lower soul power were shivering with cold. Shui Yuir and several other teammates also launched an attack. In the ice and snowstorm, dense and cold snowflake blades and water blades cut towards the people of the Xingluo Royal Academy team. Not only did the 7 people have to resist continuous attacks and the invasion of cold air, but their strength was also limited. Davis didn't expect Xiao Han to have such a powerful 10,000-year soul skill that he could directly change the combat environment. He gritted his teeth and shouted, "Huiyan, use your special moves." Just as Davis and Zhu Huiyan were about to perform the soul fusion skill together, a nice blue halo with Shui Binger as the center suddenly spread out in all directions and hit Zhu Huiyan directly. Davis reacted quickly and leaped into the air with the help of his legs. But what greeted him was a whistling ice explosion arrow. You don't have a chance to perform the martial soul fusion skill. Boom! The powerful ice blue arrow hit the huge white tiger, and the moment the two collided, there was a deafening sound. Davis was blasted out by the shock wave generated by the explosion, and fell heavily to the edge of the ring, spitting blood. Chapter 80: The Strength of the Spirit Hall Team. Watching Davis being beaten by Xiao Han, Dai Mubei felt very uncomfortable. Dai Mubei had always dreamed of defeating Davis, but he wanted to do it by his own strength, not by others. After all, Davis was his brother with the same blood. The two brothers were beaten by the same person, which made Dai Mubei feel even more aggrieved. Seeing Davis' miserable state, Dai Mubei was furious. Damn Xiao Han! I must kill you. Davis, Zhu Huiyan, what are you two doing? Why don't you use your martial soul fusion skills earlier? Tang-san patted Dai Mubei on the shoulder and comforted him. Boss Dai, it's useless to be anxious now. They didn't understand Xiao Han's spirit skills and were caught off guard, so they didn't have time to use their martial soul fusion skills. The people on the side were silent. In fact, Everyone knew very well that even if Davis and Zhu Xian could successfully use their martial soul fusion skills, they would not be able to defeat the Xianshu Academy team. Daimyo and Zhu Xiuqing were both thinking in their hearts, if they met the Xianshu team, would they repeat the mistakes of Davis and Zhu Xian? Under Xiao Han's suppression, could they work together to perform the martial soul fusion technique in such a short time? As Davis was blasted out of the ring, the people of the Xingluo royal team lost their backbone and panicked. Then, Zhu Xiuqing was also blasted out of the ring by Shuibinger. The rest of them were also blasted out by Shui Yuer and others one after another. The Xingluo Royal Academy team, which had 6 fighting souls, only lasted a few minutes on the ring before being completely defeated by the Xianshu Academy. The Soul Masters who were watching the game were all shocked by the strength of the Xianshu Academy. In the audience, there were discussions everywhere, and people were amazed at the powerful strength of the Xianshu Academy. It's unbelievable that the Xianshu Academy team defeated the Xingluo Royal team so easily. You know, the Xingluo Royal team has 6 members from the Fighting Soul sect, yeah, especially that Xiao Han, who used 2 10,000-year soul skills at the beginning, catching the Xingluo Royal team off guard and directly determining the outcome of the game. But then again, the Xingluo Royal team is too dependent on Davis and Zhu Xiuqing's martial soul fusion skills. Once they can't use them in time, the strength of the entire team will be greatly reduced. That's right, although the martial soul fusion skills are powerful, they also require tacit cooperation and timing among team members, and it's not always possible to get what you want. It seems that this year's Soul Master competition is really full of hidden dragons and crouching tigers. The overall strength of the Xianshu Academy team is not inferior to the Wuhan Hall Academy team with 3 fighting soul kings. Speaking of the Wuhan Hall Academy team, they have not yet fully demonstrated their strength. I wonder what kind of contest it will be between them and Xianshu Academy. After witnessing the entire process of the match, everyone in the Spirit Hall Academy team realized that Xianshu Academy should not be underestimated. Yan, who was very arrogant before, also became serious at this time. This year's Xianshu team is quite powerful, stronger than I thought, yes, especially that Xiao Han, his 2 10,000-year soul skills are a huge threat. If our 2 teams meet, the first one to be dealt with is him, who Lina reminded. There is still a Soul King in their team who has not played. Although she is an auxiliary teacher, we still can't be careless. The Xingluo Royal Academy team lost this game, which means they were eliminated, and the journey of this Soul Master competition ended. The Xianshu Academy team successfully advanced to the top 6. Amid cheers, Xiao Han and others walked out of the competition venue. They did not leave the stadium, but returned to the Academy's spectator seats. There are 3 more games to go, and the 3 winning teams may become their opponents in the next round. The next group of games begins. The opponents of the Shrek Academy team are not very strong. Although all the Shrek 7 devils were on the field, Daimyo and Zhu Xiuqing did not use their spirit fusion skills. However, they still defeated their opponents and successfully advanced to the top 6. Next was the match between Thunder Academy and Blazing Academy. In the preliminaries, Thunder Academy defeated Blazing Academy. In the promotion match, Lei Dong, the vice-captain of Thunder Academy, was seriously injured by Daimyo and has not been able to play until now. But with the violent attacks and the air advantage of Yu Xiangxin and the Thunder Eagle Spirit Master, after a fierce battle, they finally defeated Blazing Academy and advanced to the top 6. The next group of duels attracted much attention. The Spirit Hall Academy team played against another seeded team, the Xiandao Royal Academy team. All the teams that advanced to the top 6 did not leave, and they all wanted to understand the true strength of the Spirit Hall Academy team by watching this game. On the Xianshu Academy team, everyone stared at the field. Xiao Han knew that Lina and Ziyu, the brother and sister, could work together to perform the Spirit Fusion skill charm. Within the control range of this skill, everyone's senses will be reduced by 50%, soul power will be suppressed by 50%, and all actions will be delayed by 50%. In addition to these 3 negative states, only Ziyu and Hulina can see things within the range of the enchanting red fog, and others cannot spy on the situation inside the red fog. Although this martial soul fusion skill is powerful, it also has great flaws. Its restriction range is limited and cannot threaten soul masters with their superiority. Moreover, its negative state will also be imposed on its own soul masters. This means that when the brother and sister use this soul skill, they cannot cover the entire field with a restriction range. Shuibinger and Zhu Wu's martial soul fusion skill, ice and snow piling, can cover the entire field and has a strong freezing restriction effect. Therefore, Xiao Han is confident that he can defeat the Wuhan Hall Academy. Under the gaze of everyone, a total of 14 members of the Wuhan Hall Academy team and the Xiandao Royal Academy team entered the competition venue and slowly walked towards the competition arena. The Spirit Hall team was led by Ziyu, Hulina and Yan. The three of them looked confident and calm, and they caused a sensation as soon as they appeared. These three were the best of the Spirit Hall's golden generation. They were awarded the Spirit Hall Purple Record Medal by Pope Bibi, and they were also the youngest Spirit Masters to receive this honor. The Spirit Hall team must win. The championship belongs to the Spirit Hall. The Spirit Masters from the Spirit City cheered for them. The Xiandao Royal Academy was led by Yu Xianheng from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. They felt a strong sense of oppression. The pressure came from both the Spirit Hall team and the audience. Shuibinger stood beside Xiao Han and asked softly, "Xiao Han, is the black-haired girl in the Xiandao team the Yilingling you mentioned before?" "Yes, that's right, it's her." Chapter 81 The Final Three. As a seeded team, the Xiandao Royal Academy team had a bye in the first round, and the opponent in the second round was not strong, so Yilingling did not play. This was her first time standing on the stage of the finals. With the referee's announcement, the game began. The players of both teams released their martial spirits and spirit rings. Ziyu, Yan and Hulina, who were standing at the front of the team, each had 5 spirit rings of yellow, purple, and black flashing on their bodies. The other 5 people all had 4 spirit rings of yellow, purple and purple flashing on their bodies. Without exception, they all had the best spirit ring configuration. Although they had heard about it before, Yu Xianheng and others were still frightened when they saw this scene with their own eyes, and the overall momentum of the team was weakened a bit. In the Wuhan Hall team, Hulina was the first to take action. A layer of light red light emerged from her body, and the moment the charming gaze touched Yu Xianheng hesitated for a moment. "Everyone, be careful, don't look into her eyes." When Yu Xianheng reacted, it was too late. The 5 soul rings on Hulina's body flickered at the same time. As the soul rings fluctuated one after another, the red light on her body became stronger and stronger. Ziyu waved the 2 blood-red moon blades in his hands. At the moment of collision with Hulina, the red light curtain suddenly spread and burst out, covering half of the ring in the blink of an eye. The 7 members of the Xiandao Royal team were all enveloped in the red light. "Is that a martial soul fusion skill?" Seeing that scene, Shuibinger blurted out. Xiao Han nodded. "Yes, it's a martial soul fusion skill. The martial soul fusion skill of the brother and sister seems to have restrictions on teammates, so the 5 people didn't dare to get close." Yan originally stood with Ziyu and Hulina. When the brother and sister launched the fusion, he consciously stepped back a few steps and came to the other 4 teammates. The 5 of them didn't seem to have any intention of taking action. The red light flickered, and Ziyu and Hulina suddenly turned into a person with long flowing hair and looked neither male nor female in the rotation. The man's hair turned red, holding 2 huge moon blades. This is their martial soul fusion skill, Demon Charm. In the rich red light, the red-haired demon moved. The 7 people of the Xiandao Royal team could not see their opponents clearly in the red light, like lambs to be slaughtered. One figure after another was thrown out, and blood splattered. Soon, only Yu Xianheng and Du Yan were still struggling. The soul masters who were watching the battle could not see what was happening in the red light from the outside. Suddenly, Du Yan was also blasted out, spitting blood. Yan, seeing the miserable state of his granddaughter, Douluo was furious and wanted to rush up and kill the red-haired demon immediately. The red light curtain faded without a sign, and the red-haired demon turned back into Ziyu and Hulina. Yu Xianheng was still standing on the ring, but his body was covered with scars and kept shaking. "Since you are from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, I will spare your life," Ziyu said, and with a light wave of the moon blade in his hand, Yu Xianheng fell to the ground. After doing all this, Ziyu, Hulina and Yan looked at the Xianshu College team almost at the same time. Ziyu and Yan made a gesture of wiping their necks towards them. Facing their provocation, Xiao Han unceremoniously raised a middle finger, and then turned his thumb upside down to point to the ground. Seeing Xiao Han's actions, the 2 guys looked at each other, not knowing what was going on. Shui Weir asked curiously, "Xiao Han, what do you mean by this?" It means that they are not very good, very weak. Do they understand it? It doesn't matter, just mess with their mentality. Compared with the crushing of the Xingluo Royal College team by the Xianshu College team, the Wuhan Hall College team performed more domineeringly. Although they were all the main players on the field, only 2 of them took action and completely defeated the opponent. Of course, the strength of the Xingluo Royal team is incomparable to the Xiandao Royal team. Most of the Soul Masters watching the game believe that the Xianshu Academy team had the strength to compete with the Spirit Hall Academy team for the championship. The top 6 teams in the finals were all announced. Before the 4th round of the game, each team had a day to rest and adjust. The next day, the draw results for the top 6 were announced. Xianshu Academy played against Shenfeng Academy. Shrek Academy played against Leiting Academy. Spirit Hall Academy played against the academy ranked 2nd in the Xingluo Empire Division. Feng Xiaoshan found Xiao Han, feeling a little depressed. We at Shenfeng Academy were unlucky. We actually drew your Xianshu Academy. If we drew Leiting, Shrek or Xingluo Academy, we would also be able to enter the final 3, accept your fate. It's good that you didn't draw the Spirit Hall team, that's right. Who wants to fight with those cruel guys? Thinking of Ziyu and Hulina's spirit fusion skills and the miserable conditions of the Xiandao Royal team, Feng Xiaoshan's scalp tingled. Feng Xiaoshan knew that with the overall strength of their team, it was impossible to defeat the Spirit Hall team. He has the ability to fly, and he also has powerful self-created soul skills, so he is naturally not afraid of the 3 fighting Soul Kings. However, he does not want to see his teammates being abused. Good brother, only 2 people from the Spirit Hall team took action yesterday. Their strength is unfathomable. You will definitely meet them in the final showdown. Be prepared in advance and don't let those 2 guys complete the spirit fusion skill. Xiao Han leaned close to Feng Xiaoshan's ear and whispered, Brother Feng, to tell you the truth, Binger and Zhu also have spirit fusion skills, which are more powerful than those 2 people's demon charm. Really? Feng Xiaoshan looked at Xiao Han in surprise. I knew you were holding back. Hey, my self-created spirit skills that I've been holding back for so long, it looks like they won't be of any use. Don't be discouraged, that's your painstaking work, it will definitely be useful in the future. By the way, are we still going to play tomorrow's game? Feng Xiaoshan chuckled, of course we have to play, just treat it as a friendly match, you know. Okay, let's just play around when the time comes. Xiao Han understood what Feng Xiaoshan meant. He wanted to take this opportunity to promote the relationship between the players of the 2 academies. When Shrek learned that their opponent in the next round was Thunder Academy, they felt much more relaxed. They were lucky, and they didn't encounter strong opponents along the way. The Fire Spirit Master was very restrained against Tang San's Blue Silver Grass Spirit. Yesterday, Thunder Academy defeated Blazing Fire Academy and directly eliminated it. In the promotion match, Shrek Academy defeated Thunder Academy. In the next round, the 43rd level Control Spirit Master of Thunder Academy still could not play, and the overall strength was weakened, and it could not pose a threat to Shrek Academy. From this point of view, the final 3 teams have basically been determined in advance, namely Wuhan Hall Academy, Xianshu Academy and Shrek Academy. The next day, the 4th round of the game began. Because the opponent gave up a game, the Wuhan Hall team directly advanced to the top 3. Shrek Academy defeated Thunder Academy again and successfully advanced. The duel between Xianshu Academy and Shenfeng Academy was more like an exhibition match, and ended happily with Xianshu Academy's victory. The 5th round of the game is coming soon. The remaining 3 teams are only 1 step away from the final championship. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82 Secret Meeting with Yu Guan. The final 3 will compete in the square in front of the Pope's Palace. Bibi Dong will personally watch the game and present awards to the final champion. The night before the game, Xiao Han was resting in his room when an uninvited guest suddenly came. A white shadow quietly entered from the window, which scared Xiao Han. When he looked carefully, he found that the person was Elder Ju Yu Guan. It turned out to be Elder Ju. Boy, aren't you afraid of me? Of course not. It's as easy for you to kill me as to crush an ant. If you really want to kill me, I would be dead now. Yu Guan smiled softly. Don't worry, I won't kill you. What do you think of my last proposal? I know you are doing this for my own good. You want me to join the Spirit Hall, so that I can save my life? But, because of my personal reasons, I can't join the Spirit Hall before graduation. However, we can be friends first. Yu Guan smiled. Okay, let's talk about it after you graduate. By the way, how did you get that Kirantong Xianzhu fairy grass? I got it by accident in Sunset Forest 2 or 3 years ago. Sunset Forest? I didn't expect that a Kirantong Xianzhu fairy grass would grow in that soul beast forest. You are destined to have it. This may be the arrangement of fate. 2 or 3 years ago, you knew Kirantong Xianzhu? Yes. I have been interested in flowers and plants since I was a child. I learned a lot about exotic flowers and plants through the illustrated book of fairy grasses. Hearing this, Yu Guan was shocked. Have you read the illustrated book of fairy grasses? To be honest, I asked Prince Zhu King to borrow it from your Wuhan Hall. The one he gave me is not the original, but a copy. Xiao Han deliberately let Yu Guan know that he had a special relationship with the fake prince. I see. Yu Guan nodded slightly, thinking. As Bibi Dong's confidant and one of the elders of the Wuhan Hall, he also knew that the current Zhu King was pretended by Jin Ringsu. He guessed that Xiao Han had already gained Jin Ringsu's trust, so Jin Ringsu helped Xiao Han get such a precious book as Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses. Thinking of this, Yu Guan was relieved. Even if Xiao Han did not join the Spirit Hall now, as long as he helped Jin Ringsu, he would not become the enemy of the Spirit Hall. The final showdown will take place tomorrow. Are you ready? Of course, we are here for the championship. Champion? I'm not trying to discourage you. You haven't seen the true strength of the Spirit Hall team. They are determined to win the championship. I don't want to see you get hurt because of challenging them. Xiao Han smiled disapprovingly. Do you think so badly of us? You are indeed very strong, and your personal strength is even above theirs. But you also saw that Ziyu and Hulina have powerful martial arts fusion skills, which you can't crack at all. To tell you the truth, the champion prize prepared by the Spirit Hall for this Soul Master competition is 3 valuable soul bones, and those 3 soul bones will not fall into the hands of outsiders easily. Elder Ju, thank you for telling me the truth. However, we still want to compete. Yu Guan smiled. You are indeed a proud boy. I didn't make a mistake about you. Then I wish you good luck. However, I still have to remind you to do what you can and don't force yourself. Okay, I know, I'm leaving. Don't let anyone know that I came to see you. Before Yu Guan finished speaking, he turned into a residual shadow and disappeared outside the window. The bright and brilliant sunshine fell on the earth, as if every inch of land was coated with a layer of dazzling golden light. Under the sunlight, the Pope's palace on the top of the mountain looked even more solemn and glorious. In front of the Pope's palace, a wide road paved with bluestone leads directly to the foot of the mountain, with neat and uniform palace knights standing on both sides. They are tall and straight, with resolute faces, wearing bright silver armor, holding heavy knight swords in their hands, adding a bit of majesty to the Pope's mountain. Today, the final 3 will be in the square in front of the Pope's palace. Early in the morning, the 3 teams came to the square in front of the Pope's palace and waited quietly. The teams that have been eliminated are not qualified to watch the game. The teachers of the 3 major colleges and Zhu King are not allowed to stand in the square. They can only wait outside the square to watch the game. There are 21 players standing in the square. The 7 people of the Wuhan Hall Academy team have confident looks on their faces, and they seem to be determined to win the championship. The Xianshu Academy team and the Shrek 7 Devils are relatively low-key. No one looks at each other, just waiting quietly. Xiao Han is the only substitute player on the field. He will replace the main player Chu Ruoshu. Finally, a group of 12 people came out of the side door of the Pope's palace. The red robes on them symbolized their status as cardinals. The 12 cardinals walked to the door of the Pope's palace and stood on the left and right, 6 on each side. His Majesty the Pope has arrived. Long live, long live, long live. The loud shouts resounded throughout the Spirit City. The door of the Pope's palace slowly opened, and everyone's eyes were unconsciously attracted to it. A woman wearing a golden long dress, a purple gold crown on her head, holding a scepter, with a solemn face and noble temperament walked out of the Pope's palace. This woman was the Pope of the Spirit Hall, Bibi Dong. There were 4 people following Bibi Dong. Elder Zhu Yu Guan, Elder Ghost Gui Mei, Jian Douluo and Honorary Elder Ning Fengzi of the Spirit Hall. Greetings to His Majesty the Pope. At this moment, All the people belonging to the Spirit Hall knelt on one knee and saluted their Pope. In the square, the 7 members of the Spirit Hall Academy team also knelt down. However, the Shrek 7 Devils and the 7 members of the Xianshu Academy team did not kneel down. Xiao Han had long known that the Shrek members would not kneel down. Therefore, before going on the court, he specifically told his teammates not to kneel down. Bibi looked at the 14 people standing in the center of the square, her face calm. However, the people from the Spirit Hall glared at the group of young spirit masters. A cardinal said angrily, "How dare you? How dare you disrespect His Holiness the Pope?" Bibi raised her hand and signaled the cardinal to shut up. Then, she swept her eyes over the 14 people and found Xiao Han at a glance. Xiao Han stood with the 6 girls, which was too conspicuous. "Are you Xiao Han who has admitted to Xianshu Academy as an exception?" "Yes, His Holiness the Pope." Bibi nodded slightly. As an unparalleled strong man, she could naturally feel that Xiao Han's strength was definitely not inferior to the 3 geniuses of the Spirit Hall. "Very good, you are indeed different, then." Bibi set her sights on Tang San. "Are you the master's disciple Tang San?" "Yes, Your Holiness the Pope." "Yes, you really have some of the character of your teacher back then." "I dare not compare with my teacher." Bibi said nothing more, waving the scepter in her hand, signaling those people in the Spirit Hall to stand up. They all stood up, waiting for her opening speech. Chapter 83, Hard Fight with Spirit Hall Team. Bibi eyes swept over the 21 people in the center of the square. "You are all the best in this year's Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition. In front of the Pope's Palace, I hope to see all your talents and strengths. The final winner will receive generous rewards from the Spirit Hall." Bibi finished speaking, and gently waved the scepter in her hand, and 3 points of light appeared in front of her. The light instantly enlarged and floated in the air. They were 3 soul bones. It was not difficult to tell from the shape that the one flashing light blue was the head soul bone, the fiery red one was the right arm soul bone, and the dark green one was the left leg soul bone. The quality of the 3 soul bones was good, and they all came from soul beasts above the 10,000-year level. Their appearance instantly attracted the attention of the soul masters present. Soul bones are rare and precious, and they are hard to come by. Many soul masters have never owned a soul bone in their entire lives, and there are many powerful people at the title Douluo level. The ghost standing behind Bibi suddenly said, "These 3 soul bones are the wisdom skill of spiritual concentration, the right arm bone of explosive burning flames, and the left leg bone of chasing the wind at high speed. They are all from 10,000-year-old soul beasts. Among them, the spirit skull is from a soul beast as old as 50,000 years old. It was obtained by the previous pope who personally killed a soul beast. It can be said to be a top-grade soul bone." Bibi took over the ghost's words, "There is only one winner in the end. These 3 soul bones will belong to the champion team. I hope that all 3 academies can go all out and win this honor." Looking at the 3 soul bones, everyone on the field was looking forward to it. The 3 soul kings of the Wuhan Hall Academy had red eyes and high morale. They couldn't wait to start the game. Bibi continued, "This morning, each of your 3 teams will send out 7 people to compete in the individual elimination round. The winning team will take the lead and directly enter the final tomorrow. The 2 losing teams will compete for another spot on the final in the afternoon. The game will start soon, and you can send the first player to play." The rules of the semifinals were decided by Bibi on the spur of the moment. Except for the Spirit Hall Academy, the other 2 academies were not aware of it. Gang reacted quickly and his face changed drastically. The elimination round, which was the same as the promotion round, with 3 teams participating together, was the most disadvantageous to Shrek Academy. There were 3 War Soul Kings in the Spirit Hall team and the Xianshu team, and the other players were all Soul Sect level. The overall strength gap was large, and the Shrek 7 Devils could not win in the one-on-one elimination round, and could only participate in the afternoon duel as the losers. Moreover, the risk of injury to Shrek players was greatly increased when competing with powerful opponents such as Xiao Han, Shui Binger, Yan, Ziyu, and Hulina. After the elimination match in the morning, the team battle in the afternoon is a great test for both physical strength and soul power. Even if they barely win, they will have to face the team that is well rested in advance tomorrow morning, and there will be no chance. Gang thought of a plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. He took the initiative to withdraw from the elimination match and enter the loser group, letting the Wuhan Hall Academy and Xianshu Academy compete with each other. The strength of the two academies is very strong. For the quota of direct promotion, they will definitely fight to the death. If they both lose, no matter who advances, Shrek Academy will be able to reap the benefits. Thinking of this, Yu Xiaogang suddenly stood up and said loudly, "Your Holiness, please wait a moment, I have something to say." Everyone's attention was interrupted by Yu Xiaogang's sudden words. Bibi Dong was slightly stunned, looked at Yu Xiaogang, and pretended to be calm and said, "Master, what do you want to say?" Yu Xiaogang bowed in the direction of Bibi Dong. "Your Holiness, we, the Shrek Academy, give up the first half of the elimination round and voluntarily enter the losers group finals in the afternoon." As soon as these words came out, there was an uproar at the scene. The Shrek 7 Devils were all surprised. They had not expected it, but they reacted quickly. Tang San and a few others looked at each other and understood what Yu Xiaogang meant. Behind Bibi Dong, Ning Fengziu also had a barely perceptible smile on his face. Obviously, Yu Xiaogang made a very wise decision. The 3 War Soul Kings of the Spirit Hall team were all stunned. Before coming to the Pope's Palace Square, they received Bibi Dong's instructions to find ways to kill Tang San on the stage when they faced him in the elimination round. Although the Soul Master competition clearly stipulates that killing is not allowed, accidents are inevitable. This is the territory of the Spirit Hall. If he is killed, and no one dares to hold him accountable. Tang San is Tang Hao's son and has twin spirits. If he is not restrained, he may become the next Clear Sky Douluo. Bibi Dong would never allow this to happen. No matter what means, she must kill Tang San in advance. But she didn't expect that Yu Xiaogang would do such a thing, which disrupted her plan. From the preliminaries to the promotion matches, and then to the finals, it is allowed to voluntarily give up the game. Bibi Dong could not refuse Yu Xiaogang's proposal, so she could only change the plan and let the 3 heroes of the Spirit Hall eliminate Tang San in the next game. "Master, are you sure you want to give up the game and directly enter the loser group?" "I'm sure." "Okay then." Shrek Academy gives up the game and enters the loser group. As soon as Bibi Dong finished speaking, the attention of the people in the Spirit Hall shifted to the 7 people of the Xianshu team. Yan, Ziyu, and Hulina also stared at them closely, with provocation in their eyes. Xiao Han and Shuibinger suddenly felt a strong hostility, but they did not retreat. "Senior sisters, don't be afraid, the championship must be ours." Xiao Han's voice was very low, but it revealed an unquestionable determination, which instantly lifted the spirits of the girls. After the 7 people from Shrek left the field, only 14 people were left in the square. Yan from the Spirit Hall team stood up. He was ready for battle and looked confident. Suddenly, Xiao Han raised his right hand. "Your Holiness, I have something to say." "Xiao Han, do you want to give up the game too?" Bibi Dong's eyes fell on Xiao Han again, with a smile on her face. If Xiao Han took the initiative to give up the game on behalf of Xianshu College, the Spirit Hall College would be able to enter tomorrow's finals directly as the winner. Yu Xiaogang and the people from Shrek suddenly became nervous again. They didn't have much chance of winning after competing with the undefeated Xianshu College and the Spirit Hall College. Yan looked at Xiao Han and grinned, as if to say, "Are you afraid too?" Just when everyone thought that Xiao Han would also propose to give up the game, he said something that shocked the audience. "Your Holiness, we will not give up the game. I just have a suggestion. Our Xianshu Academy team is composed of all ice and water attribute spirit masters. That flame right arm bone is obviously not suitable for us. If we can win the final championship, can you replace it with a suitable spirit bone for us?" Chapter 84, Ice and Fire. Xiao Han's words shocked everyone present. Who would have thought that this young man would dare to make such a request to the Pope? Lin Zhiruo and Ding Zhao were both frightened. Zhu King glanced at the calm Xiao Han, with a hint of admiration in his eyes. This young man is getting braver and braver. Xiao Han's words made sense, but ordinary people would never dare to talk to the high and mighty Pope Bibi Dong like this. Everyone looked at Bibi Dong in unison, wondering how she would react. Bibi Dong just smiled slightly and did not blame Xiao Han. Although this young man was arrogant, he was not arrogant, and the proposal sounded reasonable. "Xiao Han, it seems that you are very confident in winning the championship of this Soul Master competition. However, you must at least enter the final tomorrow to be qualified to make such a request. Your Highness the Pope, do you agree?" Bibi Dong nodded slightly. "If you can defeat the Spirit Hall Academy team next, you can directly enter tomorrow's finals. and I will prepare a spare soul bone for you in advance. Thank you, His Holiness the Pope. Okay, let's start the game. As the first person to play in the Spirit Hall Academy team, Yan has arrived at the center of the square. The square is the arena for the final 3 finals. It is paved with extremely hard stones, which is more solid than ordinary arenas and can withstand the attacks of soul masters below the soul saint level. This round of competition is a little different from the promotion round. Although both are elimination rounds, there is no need to arrange the order of the player's appearance in advance. It can be determined according to the appearance of the opponents. Xiao Han knew that Yan's soul power reached level 52, and his spirit was the Lord of Fire, with dual attributes of fire and earth. The attack power is strong and difficult to deal with. Therefore, he was the first to go on stage. In the center of the square, Xiao Han and Yan stood face to face. Yan had a head of fiery red hair, his body was covered with flame patterns, and a hot breath emanated from him. In stark contrast to Yan, Xiao Han emanated an extremely cold breath. A battle of ice and fire is about to begin. Everyone is looking forward to this duel. The game begins. You can release your martial spirits. With a referee's order, Yan suddenly opened his eyes, and there seemed to be 2 clusters of burning flames dancing in his pupils. His muscles were tense, and then a surge of soul power surged out of his body. With a roar, a huge flame figure condensed and formed behind him. The flame figure was several feet tall, as if it was made of rocks and flames, emitting a suffocating high temperature. Facing such a majestic fire element, Xiao Han seemed unusually calm. He slowly raised his hands, and a layer of faint blue light began to spread around his body, and a crystal clear bowl gradually emerged. Its bowl was made of extremely cold ice, emitting a faint blue light, revealing a breathtaking chill. Ice and fire faced each other, and the 2 completely opposite elemental forces formed a sharp contrast in the center of the square, and the air was filled with a tense and exciting atmosphere. Yan suddenly said, "Boy, you dare to fight against our Wuhan Hall Academy team, you have guts. However, I will definitely defeat you, and the final champion must belong to our Wuhan Hall Academy." "Really? The game hasn't started yet, don't talk big. Go ahead. You're looking for death," Yan roared and took the lead in attacking. With a sudden flash of the 5th soul ring on his body, Yan directly used his 10,000-year soul skill, Flying Sands and Wild Flames. Above the square, a red flame vortex was like a huge net, pressing down like an overwhelming force. As soon as this 10,000-year soul skill came out, the whole square seemed to be covered by a fiery power from ancient times. The red flame vortex, with violent wind and sand, swallowed everything around it in a red like a volcanic eruption. The center of the flame vortex was extremely hot, and it made a crackling sound. The students who were watching the game could feel the terrifying power contained in the flame vortex, even though they were hundreds of meters away. The flame was even stronger than Ma Hongjin's evil fire. They all showed a look of shock on their faces, and retreated one after another, fearing that they would be hurt by the residual power of the vortex of flames. The sand and the flames intertwined together, forming an unstoppable force of destruction, which pressed towards Xiao Han with a whistling sound. Yan knew that Xiao Han had the ability to fly, so he planned to block Xiao Han's way from the beginning and suppress him in this small space. Facing the overwhelming flying sand and raging flames, Xiao Han did not retreat. The blue light surrounding him became more intense. The Xianbing bow and arrow was ready in his hand, and the arrow was aimed at the center of the vortex of flames. Xiao Han's 5th soul ring flashed. The 5th soul skill, Blizzard Arrow, was activated. A breathtaking chill burst out from the Xianbing bow and arrow, facing the fierce torrent of flames. As the blizzard arrows were released, the temperature above the entire square dropped sharply. The hot breath that was originally filled with Yan's flying sand and wild flames was dissipating at an astonishing speed. The chill carried by the blizzard arrows met the violent heat waves of the flame vortex in the air. The two collided with each other, producing amazing energy fluctuations. Above the square, frost and flames intertwined, forming a series of gorgeous colors, with both the red of flames and the blue of ice and snow. Ice and fire. The two collided in the air, making a crackling sound, deafening, as if even the space was distorted by this force. Although Yan's flames were extremely violent, Xiao Han was immune to the flames and was not afraid at all. Moreover, his power of ice was even better with the blessing of the 8-angled, mysterious ice grass, immortal grass. After encountering the blizzard arrows, the originally unstoppable offensive of the flame vortex began to weaken. The red flames gradually became dim under the erosion of the true ice, and the sand and gravel in the flames also lost their original sharpness due to the low temperature. The blizzard met the vortex of fire. Although its power was weakened, it still brought a chill that could not be underestimated, invading Yan's body. Seeing this, Yan's face changed drastically. He did not expect Xiao Han's fifth soul skill to be so powerful that it could compete with his fire and earth power. He hurriedly mobilized the soul power in his body, trying to strengthen the power of the flame to resist the invasion of the cold. The third soul skill, Hellfire, was activated. This is Yan's amplification soul skill, and the power of the flame is instantly increased by 100%. However, just as he activated this soul skill, a nice blue arrow suddenly exploded less than 1 meter away from him. Countless tiny ice chips attached to the surface of his body the moment they touched his body, and quickly wrapped him up. This is another 10,000-year soul skill activated by Xiao Han, the Ice Explosion Arrow. Chapter 85 Bibi Dong's Scheming. Hit by the sudden ice explosion arrow, Yan felt an unprecedented chill instantly penetrated his flame body defense, as if even his soul was frozen by this powerful chill. Those tiny ice chips were not just physically attached, they seemed to devour the heat in his body, making his movement slow and clumsy. What kind of soul skill is this? Yan was horrified. He had never met an opponent who could restrain his fire attributes so well. At this moment, he seemed to be imprisoned in a cage made of ice. Xiao Han did not give Yan any chance to breathe. He flashed and lightly jumped into the air, and his Henbing bow in his hand once again condensed a dazzling blue light. Xiao Han put away the ice crystal arrows and used the huge ice bow to hit the frozen Yan directly. Yan tried his best to break free. However, it was too late. The moment the ice broke, the huge ice bow hit Yan's body fiercely, and the huge force directly blasted him out of the competition area in the center of the square. At this moment, the whole square fell into dead silence. The cardinals of the Spirit Hall, the teachers and players of the academy team were all stunned to watch this scene. None of them thought that the young man in front of them could defeat Yan so easily. You know, in the Spirit Hall Academy team, Yan's overall strength is the strongest. Lin Zhiruo and Lin Zhao smiled at each other, their eyes full of relief and pride. Fortunately, when Xiao Han blasted Yan out of the ring, he put away the ice crystal arrow in advance and did not hurt Yan, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. Witnessing Yan's failure with her own eyes, Bibi Dong's face was calm, as if all this had been expected by her. She looked up at Xiao Han in the center of the square, and happened to meet Xiao Han's eyes. Xiao Han did not deliberately avoid Bibi Dong's gaze. The moment the two looked at each other, Xiao Han felt as if the whole person was fixed in place, and the soul seemed to be peeled off from the body. This suffocating feeling lasted only 2 seconds and then quickly disappeared. Such a strong mental power, is this the strength of a peerless Douluo? Xiao Han secretly marveled at Bibi Dong's strength. Yan slowly stood up, with a mixture of hot and cold breath coming out of his body. He also knew that Xiao Han had just shown mercy to him. Boy, you are indeed very strong. But I still say that the final championship must belong to our Wuhan Hall Academy team. After Yan finished speaking, he retreated to the side of his teammates. Hulina and Ziyu looked at each other. Brother, I will go first and let him taste the power of my charm skills. Well, then you be careful. The game continued. Yan's defeat put the Wuhan Hall Academy team in a disadvantageous situation, but they were not discouraged. Instead, they ignited a more fanatical fighting spirit in their hearts. Hulina slowly walked towards Xiao Han in the center of the square. Suddenly, the teacher of the Wuhan Hall Academy team stood up. He looked in the direction of Bibi Dong and bowed. Your Holiness, on behalf of the Spirit Hall Academy team, I request to give up the elimination round and voluntarily enter the losers group semifinals. As soon as these words came out, there was an uproar at the scene, and everyone was confused. Who would have thought that the Spirit Hall Academy team, which was most favored to win the championship, would directly give up the game? The faces of those cardinals showed disbelief and anger. Hulina was stunned on the spot, looking back at their teacher, and she also felt incredible. Bibi Dong smiled and nodded. Not only was she not angry about the teacher's decision, but she was satisfied. Because she had other plans in mind. Okay then. You just concentrate on preparing for the semi-final against Shrek Academy in the afternoon. Nana, come back. Yes, Hulina looked at Xiao Han unwillingly, and then stepped back. Bibi Dong then announced, as the winner of the individual elimination match, The Xianshu College team will directly enter the final tomorrow morning. The Wuhan Hall College team and the Shrek College team will compete in a team battle for another spot on the final. Upon hearing this result, the teachers and students of Xianshu College were a little excited. They can prepare for tomorrow's final battle. Shui Binger leaned close to Xiao Han's ear and whispered, "Xiao Han, you are really amazing. After seeing your strength, they actually gave up the game on their own initiative. I guess this is what Bibi Dong meant. They gave up strategically in order to preserve their strength and defeat Shrek College in the afternoon game. Yeah, I guess that too." On the Shrek College side, Uzia Gang's face was livid. He originally thought that the Wuhan Hall team and the Xianshu team would fight to the death in order to directly advance to tomorrow's final, and both would suffer losses. Unexpectedly, the arrogant Wuhan Hall College team would actually give up the game on their own initiative. Now, the pressure on Shrek Academy is even greater after everyone left. Bibi Dong called Hulina, Ziyu and Yan into the Pope's palace. Bibi Dong's eyes swept over the three of them. Yan lowered his head and dared not look at her, as if he was blaming himself for his defeat. Water and fire restrain each other. Whoever is stronger will be the winner. After all, Xiao Han has two 10,000-year spirit rings, and his total spirit power is higher than yours. Yan, it's normal for you to lose to him, so don't blame yourself. Adjust your mentality and prepare for the afternoon game. Yes, Your Majesty. Yan felt better. Bibi Dong continued, "It is my idea to give up the individual elimination rounds, so you don't have to think too much about it. Nana, I have tested it. Xiao Han's mental strength is definitely better than yours, and your charm skills are not enough to threaten him. Even if you and Ziyu can defeat him through round-robin battles, there is still a War Soul King with the top East Spirit Ice Phoenix behind him. Instead of fighting to the death with him, it is better to save your strength, defeat Shrek Academy first, and then defeat them with the Spirit Fusion skills tomorrow." The three looked at each other, and then they understood what Bibi Dong meant. As the captain of the team, Ziyu stood up and said confidently, "Your Holiness, please rest assured that we will definitely defeat those two academies and live up to your expectations of us." Xianshu Academy was regarded by them as the biggest threat on the road to winning the championship. They never took Shrek Academy seriously, thinking that Shrek Academy was lucky and encountered weak teams. Bibi Dong suddenly became serious. "I called you three here not to explain to you why we gave up this game, but to remind you not to underestimate Shrek Academy," Hulina asked in confusion. "Teacher, there is not a single Soul King in their team, and there are only 3 Soul Masters. The others are all Soul Lords. Are they really that strong?" "Of course. Because their team leader is the theoretical master Uzia Gang. I know him better than anyone else. With him, everything is possible." "Yes, we know, and we will keep your teachings in mind." A cold smile suddenly appeared on Bibi Dong's face. "There is one more important point, don't forget it." "Understood." Bibi Dong gave the 3 of them a secret mission to eliminate Tang Sen in the game. Giving up the individual duel with Xianshu Academy is to be able to face Shrek Academy and implement this plan. Moreover, Bibi Dong was secretly competing with Uzia Gang in her heart, wanting to see Uzia Gang and Liu Erlong frustrated. Chapter 86 3 Killer Weapons. The Spirit Hall Academy team voluntarily gave up a game, which was beyond everyone's expectations. The pressure on the teachers and students of Shrek Academy doubled. If the Spirit Hall team and the Xianshu team both go all out to compete for the final spot, no matter which side loses, there will be great consumption. The Shrek team is all healthy, and in the afternoon game, facing a team that is not in a perfect state, it will be more confident. However, things did not develop as they imagined. Although Yan of the Spirit Hall team lost to Xiao Han, he was not injured. The other 6 main players did not play, and all of them can play in the semifinals in the afternoon in the best condition. This is a huge challenge for Shrek Academy. After returning to the hotel, Uzia Gang gathered several people. The development of things was beyond my expectation. I didn't expect that the always proud Bibi Dong would take the initiative to give up the game. "Teacher, do you mean that it was Pope Bibi Dong's idea to give up the game?" "That's right. Without Bibi Dong's permission, the team leader of the Spirit Hall Academy would never dare to make the decision to give up the game in front of those elders." "I see. It seems that they want to preserve their strength to deal with us." Uzia Gang nodded and sighed. "Xiao-san, you are right. In fact, I am more worried that the person they really want to deal with is you." "Teacher, you don't have to worry about me. With Uncle Ning, Jian Douluo and Senior Douluo here, they can't do anything to me. What's more, there is my father, After encountering the crisis of being ambushed, Tang San mentioned to Yu Xiaogang that his father, Tang Hao, might have been watching him in secret. Yu Xiaogang said, "Okay. In short, you must be careful during the game." "Yes, I know." Yu Xiaogang was relieved and continued, "The afternoon game is a huge challenge for you. What do you think?" Several people looked at each other. As the captain of the team, Dai Mubei was the first to stand up. "Master, the Spirit Hall team is too strong. This time we have to go all out. Zhu Qing and I will no longer retain our spirit fusion skills. With the full support of Rongrong and Xiaoyao, we will definitely catch them off guard." As the soul of the team, Tang San continued, "In the previous game, in addition to retaining the support capabilities of Rongrong and Xiaoyao, we also have 3 killers." Oscar was a little confused. "Brother San, how can there be 3 trump cards? Isn't it just a martial soul fusion skills of Dai Laoda and Zhu Qing, and there is also a 7-in-1 fusion?" The 7-in-1 fusion is the inspiration that Yu Xiaogang plagiarized from the 7-in-1 fusion of Kanghu Academy. It uses the assistance of Ning Rongrong and Oscar as the fusion center to fuse the soul power of the Shrek 7 devils into one. Although it is not a 7-in-1 martial soul fusion skill, it also has great power. Tang San smiled coldly. "There is another trump card, which is to use the fragments of my external soul bone, the 8 spider lance, to launch a sneak attack." Brother San, what exactly does this mean? Be more specific. It is to combine my superb hidden weapon skills and use the spider spear fragments containing highly poisonous to sneak attack the opponent. What? Isn't this self-mutilation? Like Xiao Wu, everyone was shocked by Tang San's idea and worried about him. Tang San's external soul bone is connected to his body and is a part of his body. If the spider spear is broken, it will bring him great pain. They have all seen that situation with their own eyes. Tang San smiled disapprovingly. "Don't worry about me. I've experienced that kind of pain twice, and I've adapted to it and can bear it. Besides, with Uncle Ning here, the pain will only be short-lived." Having said that, several people were still a little worried. Yu Xiaogang said, "Xiao-san, do you have a plan for the afternoon game?" "Yes." Tang San nodded slightly, and then said, "The strongest killer move of the Spirit Hall team should be Ziyu and Hulina's spirit fusion skill, Demon Charm. But the coverage of that skill is limited, and it will cause the same restrictions on teammates. When they launch this spirit skill, the 6 of you use Xiaoyao's flying mushroom sausage to rise into the air, and I will contain their spirit fusion skills and consume them." Xiao Wu hurriedly said, "Didn't Senior Brother Qin Ming say that in that red light fog, spirit power, vision and senses will be restricted? Brother, it's too dangerous for you to do this." "Yes, third brother, it's too dangerous." Tang San smiled confidently. "Don't forget, I can not only protect myself with the 8 spider lance, but also have the purple demon eye, ghost shadow step, and the ability to locate by sound. The increase in my 8 spider lance should be able to offset the increase in the martial soul fusion skills of the brother and sister. If that doesn't work, I will use the spider lance fragments to sneak attack them. Yan has flames and rocks to protect his body, and my spider lance fragments may not be able to hurt him. Then, he will be handed over to you guys to deal with." Seeing that Tang San had made up his mind, the few people didn't say anything more. "Don't worry, Zhu Qing and I's martial soul fusion skills are more than enough to deal with Yan. Yes. If we can defeat the Spirit Hall Academy in the afternoon, we will have a chance to defeat Xianshu Academy tomorrow with a 7-in-1 fusion." After hearing Tang San's words, the few people gained confidence. They stretched out their right hands at the same time, overlapped, and shouted loudly, "Shrek will win." Looking at the confident Shrek 7 devils, Yu Xiaogang was very pleased. "Then follow Xiao-san's plan. I believe you can defeat those 2 academies and win the final championship." Time soon came to the afternoon. The Pope Bibi Dong of the Spirit Hall, the Cardinals, Ning Fengzi, Jian Douluo, Douluo, and the teachers and students of the 3 academies, once again came to the square in front of the Pope's palace. Xianshu College advanced to the final match tomorrow in advance and was qualified to watch the semifinals of the other 2 academies. Shui Binger stood beside Xiao Han and asked softly, "Xiao Han, who do you think will win between the 2 teams? Maybe Shrek. Do you think they are so good?" "Well, the Spirit Hall Academy may underestimate the enemy. The Shrek team was reserved in the previous game, and Tang San might use some tricks to catch them off guard. Tang San is really insidious." In the center of the square, the 2 teams stood opposite each other, and both sent out all their main forces. Ziyu raised a disdainful smile and deliberately provoked, 3 Soul Masters and 4 Soul Lords, you dare to challenge us with such a lineup? You really overestimate your own abilities. My moon blade is blind, and I will not show mercy to you, Daimyo retorted. Humph. If you are really that powerful, you would not have abandoned your armor and weapons and become a deserter in front of Xianshu College. You wait and see how I will deal with you later. The two sides drew their swords and crossbows, and the atmosphere was extremely tense. This was bound to be a fierce game. Chapter 87, Tyrannical Beggar. Prepare for the game. You can release your own martial spirits. Following the announcement of the Red Cardinal referee, all 14 people in the center of the square released their martial spirits and spirit rings. Ziyu and Hulina quickly moved. Moving with them, there was also a spirit master whose martial spirit was the golden scepter. The fighting spirit master raised the golden scepter high in his hand, and 2 golden rays of light fell on Ziyu and Hulina respectively. The two quickly spun around, and in the blink of an eye, they completed the martial spirit fusion technique and turned into a red-hair demon. The red light emanated from the red-hair demon, spreading in the direction of the Shrek team, and instantly enveloped all 7 of them. Seeing this scene, Uzziah Gang, Flanders and Liu Erlong were all shocked. With the assistance of the assistant, Hulina and Ziyu's martial spirit fusion technique will not only be faster, but also more powerful. This was beyond their expectations. Shrouded by the red light, Shrek and his companions instantly felt their movement slowed down by half a second, and their senses were also restricted. The only one who was not greatly affected was Tang San. In order to deal with the restriction of the red light fog, Tang San released his 8 spider lenses external soul bone in advance to increase his power. He knew that it was no longer a secret that he had an external soul bone, and the spirit whole team must have known about it in advance, so there was no need to hide it deliberately. Tang San reacted quickly, and suddenly swung out 6 blue-silver grasses to wrap around the waists of the 6 teammates, throwing them into the air. The red-haired demon laughed disdainfully. Do you think you can escape my control like this? The red-haired demon was controlled by Ziyu. As soon as Ziyu finished speaking, the red light became more intense, and suddenly spread into the air, covering all the people in the low sky in just a moment. If you want to escape our control, you can't escape unless you have the ability to fly, Tang San smiled coldly. You will be disappointed. We just happen to have the ability to fly. While Tang San was talking to Ziyu, Oscar was frantically making flying mushroom sausages. At this time, he had made 6 flying mushroom sausages. Brother San, it's done. Tang San exerted his strength and sent the 6 teammates to a higher place through the blue-silver grass. The moment he left the range of the red light, Oscar quickly threw 5 flying mushroom sausages to the 5 teammates in the air, and he also ate one himself. A strange scene appeared. The 6 people in the air all stretched out pale pink wings from their backs and flew up. The wings were condensed by soul power. In the previous games, Oscar rarely played and only provided his teammates with recovery sausages. Therefore, the Spirit Hall did not know much about his soul skills, and did not expect him to provide his teammates with the ability to fly. Daimyo, Zhu Huqing and Xiao Wu had the ability to fly, and they suddenly had an air advantage. Although the other 5 members of the Spirit Hall had reached the Soul Sect level, their attacks could not pose a threat to the Shrek people in the air. However, there is also a Spirit Master with flying ability in the Spirit Hall team, and her spirit is Golden Waisted Flying Swallow. The Golden Waisted Flying Swallow Spirit Master tried to fly up to the sky to fight. But as soon as he flew up, he was besieged by Ma Hongjin and Xiao Wu. Although Ma Hongjin is only at the Soul Master level, the power of the evil fire cannot be underestimated. Coupled with the extremely fast Xiao Wu, the power of the Golden Waisted Flying Swallow Spirit Master alone is not enough. Daimyo and Zhu Huqing attacked Yan at the same time, but they did not use the spirit fusion technique, but only feinted to distract Yan's attention. Several people in the air were trying to buy time for Tang San. Although Ziyu and Hulina's spirit fusion technique is powerful, it also consumes a lot of their spirit power. Tang San wanted to hold them in the red light fog until their remaining spirit power was not enough to support the spirit fusion technique, and it was automatically released. Once the spirit fusion technique is released, the 2 Soul Kings will no longer be a threat. In that case, Daimyo and others can deal with Yan with Ning Rongrong's auxiliary amplification. Tang San's plan seemed to be perfect, but Ziyu would not let him succeed easily. For Ziyu, now was a great opportunity to kill Tang San. Ziyu held 2 huge moon blades and slashed towards Tang San. After a few rounds, he was surprised to find that Tang San's speed did not seem to be restricted much, and he was still at ease. Ziyu's speed was already very fast, but Tang San's ghostly steps could always dodge his attacks. Even though the huge moon blade chopped on the spider's legs, leaving scratches, it did not cause any substantial damage to Tang San. Now, Ziyu was a little anxious. He came with a secret mission and could not let Tang San escape this disaster easily. Your speed is faster than I thought, but do you think you can dodge it like this? Let me show you my self-created soul skill, Full Moon. After Ziyu finished speaking, the soul power in his body surged even more, and the two huge moon blades in his hands began to spin wildly. Then, he disappeared as if he had merged with the two moon blades and turned into a huge white disc. The white disc flew towards Tang San at an alarming speed. Tang San was shocked. He didn't expect that Ziyu actually had his own soul skill. With the amplification of the martial soul fusion skill, Yuan Yu's speed was faster and more powerful. Tang San felt an unprecedented pressure and quickly stretched out the 8 spider lance to block it. Bang! Bang! The 2 spider legs in front were cut into pieces the moment they touched the white disc, and a strong pain spread throughout his body. Tang San could feel that his blood was flowing out of the broken spider legs. However, he didn't have time to think about it. Ziyu was obviously going for his life. In a hurry, he dodged while using the remaining 8 spider lance to resist the attack of the white disc. Bang! 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 3 more spider legs were cut into pieces. Before, Tang San's spider legs were also broken when he fought against Douluo and Xiao Han. At this time, the pain he felt was several times stronger than before. Damn it! That guy really wants to kill me. No. I can't admit defeat. Tang San dodged and blocked. Black light surged in his left hand, and the clear sky hammer was released, rising in the wind. When he released the clear sky hammer, 2 more spider legs were cut off. Ah! Tang San roared, concentrating all his strength, and smashed the clear sky hammer into the white disc. Boom! The moment the two collided, a deafening sound erupted. Tang San was blown away by the powerful shock wave, and at the moment of landing, he used the only remaining spider leg to hold on to the ground. The red light mist suddenly disappeared. The red-haired demon split into 2, and turned back into Hulina and Ziyu. The 2 people's faces were a little pale and panting. Obviously, their remaining soul power was not enough to support the martial soul fusion technique. The auxiliary soul master of the Wuhan Hall team raised the scepter in his hand again, and 2 golden lights fell on Ziyu and Hulina respectively. Ziyu looked at Tang San, who was covered in blood and had a pale face, and grinned. Among the 7 members of the Shrek team, only Tang San was brutally abused. Little jerk, you lost, and you lost miserably. Tang San raised the corner of his mouth, unwilling to be outdone. Really? You are the losers. Before Tang San finished speaking, he mobilized all the remaining soul power in his body and used the Tang Sect Bat Wing Reincarnation technique to throw out a handful of spider spear fragments. As soon as he launched the sneak attack, he vomited blood and collapsed powerlessly. Chapter 88 Bibi Dong, you are indeed the man I admire. Although Tang San fell down, he had a smug smile on his face. He didn't care about the pain in his body, because the sneak attack trick had succeeded. Suddenly, Hulina's body trembled slightly, and then the whole person staggered uncontrollably. She felt her arm become numb and there was a tingling sensation. Nana, what's wrong with you? Ziyu just finished speaking and felt pain in his arm. Is this poisoned? Before he could react, the teammate holding the scepter behind him fell to the ground. Then, the other 3 teammates also fell down. Nana, sit down and regulate your breath. Ziyu and Hulina sat down quickly, trying to use the remaining soul power to resist the invasion of the poison. On the other side, Daimubei and Zhu Xiuqing never gave up to fight with Yan. This was the battle plan of the Shrek team, just to contain Yan. Seeing his teammates fall down one by one inexplicably, Yan was a little panicked. While Yan was distracted, Daimubei and Zhu Xiuqing activated their spirit fusion skill, Netherworld White Tiger, and with Ningrongrong's amplification, they pounced on Yan fiercely. Ma Hongjin also took the opportunity to attack from the flank. Oscar and Xiao Wu hurried back to Tang San. Brother, how are you? I'm fine. Tang San lay on the ground, half closed his eyes, and squeezed out a few words in pain. The 2 helped him up. Oscar took out the recovery sausage he had just made and gave it to Tang San to eat. Although Ziyu and Hulina tried their best to resist the invasion of the poison, it was still useless. They consumed a lot of soul power when using the spirit fusion skill, and they were not in a completely victorious state, so they could not stop Tang San's spider poison at all. In just 1 or 2 minutes, their faces turned from pale to purple-black. Seeing this scene, Yu Guan, Gui Mei and the cardinals of the Spirit Hall all showed anger. The leader of the Spirit Hall Academy suddenly shouted, "I protest, the Shrek Academy team used poisonous hidden weapons to hurt people. This is cheating." Yu Xiaogang stood up and responded, "Tang San used his own soul bone fragments, and did not use any external objects, which is completely in line with the rules of the competition." Yu Xiaogang's words made sense. The cardinal referee glanced at Bibi and said nothing more. Douluo suddenly said, "Your Holiness, I have to remind you that Tang San's spider poison is a mixed toxin. Even I can't solve it, only he can solve it. If this goes on, I'm afraid that there will be only one member of the golden generation left. Bibi Dong's twin spirits are both spiders, and she certainly knows how powerful spider poison is. Even if she is unwilling now, she has to give up this game. She can ignore the lives of others, but she will definitely ensure Hulina's safety. In her heart, Hulina is not only a beloved disciple and the heir to the Pope, but also more like a daughter. She will not watch Hulina get into an accident. Stop the game." The Spirit Hall Academy lost. "Tang San, you quickly detoxify them." Yan stopped fighting with Daimyo Bei, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ma Hongjin, and looked at Tang San with unwilling eyes. He never thought that Tang San would use such a sinister means to reverse the situation. Daimyo Bei and others surrounded Tang San. Seeing his miserable state, they were all distressed. "Xiao San, you have suffered." Third brother, Tang San smiled. "Don't be sad, we won the game." "This little pain is nothing," Ning Fengzi behind Bibi Dong whispered. "Pope, Tang San is seriously injured and there is no way to detoxify them. I will treat him first." Bibi Dong did not speak, but just nodded slightly. Then, Ning Fengzi released the 7 treasures glazed pagoda spirit, and a colorful light floated out of the pagoda and landed on Tang San. Tang San suddenly felt less painful, and then stood up and slowly walked towards the people from the Spirit Hall team. He picked up a piece of spider spear fragment from the ground, came to Ziyu, and stabbed the fragment into Ziyu's shoulder. Ziyu's face began to change, and the purple-black color gradually faded. Then, Tang San used the same method to detoxify Hulina and the others. In the process of detoxifying the others, Tang San took the opportunity to absorb their vitality. Except for Xiao Han, no one knew about Tang San's despicable behavior. Looking at the situation on the field, Xiao Han reminded, "Binger, when we play against Shrek Academy tomorrow, you must be careful. If his spider spear is broken, you use ice to protect everyone, and I will blast him out of the ring as soon as possible." "Okay, you are worried that he will use the same trick, right? Well, I won't let him hurt you, let alone detoxify you." Xiao Han knew that the Shrek team kept the 7-in-1 fusion until now just to use it against them. It is not difficult to break the 7-in-1 fusion. Just destroy it in advance and prevent them from performing it. If the 7-in-1 fusion cannot be performed, Tang San will use insidious means. Xiao Han will not let his plans succeed. After Tang San detoxified several people from the Spirit Hall Academy, he was supported by Daimyo Bei and others to walk down the competition venue. Yu Xiaogang, Flanders and Liu Erlong hurried forward to greet him. "Children, congratulations. You did it. You successfully advanced to the finals and are one step closer to the championship," the cardinal referee immediately announced. "In the semi-finals, Shrek Academy won. Tomorrow morning, it will compete with Xianshu Academy for the final championship." As the referee announced the victory of Shrek Academy, there was a dead silence in the square. Disappointment and unwillingness were like a dark cloud covering the hearts of every Spirit Hall member. Their faces were solemn, and their eyes revealed a deep sense of frustration. They seemed unwilling to accept the defeat of the Spirit Hall's golden generation. But in the end, they could only accept the reality helplessly. In this lost atmosphere, the players of the Spirit Hall Academy were also taken away. With the elimination of the Spirit Hall Academy, the championship of this Soul Master competition has become an internal struggle of the Xiandao Empire. No matter who wins or loses, the championship will belong to the Xiandao Empire. Bibi Dong stood on a high place. Although she maintained the majesty of the Pope on the surface, the waves in her heart were difficult to calm down. The relationship between the Spirit Hall and the two empires gradually became delicate. The defeat of the Golden Generation was undoubtedly a major blow to the prestige of the Spirit Hall. Bibi Dong looked in the direction of the Shrek team and met Yu Xiaogang's eyes, revealing complex emotions in her eyes. Although she was disappointed with the failure of Shrek Academy, she couldn't help but admire her former lover for leading the team to defeat the strong with the weak. Xiaogang, you are still as good as you were back then. It would have been great if you hadn't left the spirit hall in me. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89 Xianshu vs. Shrek. After returning to the hotel, Lin Zhiruo gathered the team members. Tang-san used strange methods to poison several members of the Spirit Hall team, which made Lin Zhiruo worried. You saw today's game. The result was beyond our expectations. Shrek Academy defeated the Spirit Hall Academy with a weak. The key figure to turn the tide of the battle was Tang-san. Although Xiao Han defeated him before, you must not be careless this time, Yu Harao said. That Tang-san is really insidious, just like a poisonous snake hiding in the dark, making it difficult to guard against. It's not just Tang-san who is insidious. It's not without reason that Shrek calls itself a monster. To be honest, I would rather face the Spirit Hall team than them. After witnessing today's semi-finals, the girls were a little afraid of Tang-san's insidious methods. Lin Zhiruo went on to say, this is exactly what I wanted to remind you. You must be careful of that Tang-san. Among you, only Xiao Han can resist his poison attack. Therefore, after the game starts, Xiao Han must blast Tang-san out of the venue as soon as possible and not give him the opportunity to use poison attacks. In addition, the martial soul fusion skills of the White Tiger and the Nether Spirit Cat should not be underestimated. With the lessons learned from the Xingluo Royal Academy team, they will definitely use them faster. Binger tried her best to stop them and act on the situation. Zhuwu provided assistance to Binger. Kingbo, you are faster, so the food-type soul master who can provide teammates with flying ability is handed over to you. Liu, you go to deal with the 7 treasures glazed tower soul master and prevent her from providing amplification for teammates. Yuir, you go to deal with the agility attack rabbit. There is also a fire-type soul master with air advantage, which is handed over to Harao. Does everyone have any questions? Several people looked at each other, and Xiao Han reminded, Shrek Academy didn't encounter a very strong team in the finals. They reserved some of their strength and only used the martial soul fusion technique today. I guess they have other big moves, yes. Yu Xiaogang has studied the martial soul theory for many years and should have some inspiration, but he hasn't shown it yet. If I'm not mistaken, the starting point of their big move was the 2 auxiliary soul masters, Shui Binger continued. Xiao Han makes sense. Today is Ning Rongrong's first time on the court, and she played a big role. Her 7 treasures glazed tower may have other wonderful uses, Lin Zhiruo nodded. In any case, we must take the initiative in our own hands. No matter what they are going to do, we must stop them in advance and disrupt their plans. After the game officially starts, Binger will activate the ice freezing skill as soon as possible, and then you will find your opponents and resolve the battle in the shortest time, understood? On the other side, Yu Xiaogang also called the Shrek 7 Devils to his room and arranged tactics for them for tomorrow. Kids, we are only one step away from the final championship. Do you all have confidence? Of course, Shrek will win. The Shrek 7 Devils were all very excited. Yu Xiaogang continued, those people from Xianshu College watched today's game and should be on guard against Xiao-san's poison attack. They may spend a lot of energy on this issue. In this case, you can use the 7-in-1 fusion to catch them off guard. Here they will never think that we still have a big move to deal with them. Mo Hongjin was very proud. Tang-san was very cautious. He always felt that Xiao Han from Xianshu College was unfathomable and elusive. Although our 7-in-1 fusion is powerful, we only have one chance to use it. Therefore, we must succeed and not fail. The basis for success is that we must act faster than them and take the initiative. Yu Xiaogang took over the conversation. Xiao-san is right. This is exactly what I want to remind you. Xianshu College's Captain Shui Binger has a group restriction skill, and it is an instant skill. You must complete the 7-in-1 fusion faster before she launches an attack, in order to defeat them, understood? The Shrek 7 Devils have all seen Shui Binger's freezing skill and know the power of that soul skill. She is indeed capable of preventing them from performing the 7-in-1 fusion. Tang San said confidently, "You don't have to worry too much. If we are restricted and can't successfully launch the 7-in-1 fusion, we can still deal with them like we did today against the Spirit Hall team. In the Xianshu team, except Xiao Han, no one can resist my spider poison. Even if they have seen the power of my hidden weapon technique, they can't break it. After I hit those girls, the 6 of you can focus on dealing with Xiao Han alone." This is the second plan Tang San prepared for the team. He has seen all 5 of Xiao Han's spirit skills and doesn't believe that Xiao Han's attack will be stronger than Ziyu's self-created spirit skill, the full moon. Xiao Wu felt sorry for Tang San. "Brother, if that happens, won't you suffer the pain of being torn apart again? It's okay. With Uncle Ning here, the pain will be short-lived. Look, I'm fine now." Everyone understood Tang San's good intentions. For the championship, he was not afraid of being abused. Everything was worth it. Yu Xiaogang patted Tang San on the shoulder. Then Duo Xiao-san said, "It's getting late, you should all go back and rest." After leaving Yu Xiaogang's room, Tang San called Xiao Wu alone. "Xiao Wu, I may not have time to take care of you in tomorrow's battle. You must protect yourself. Although you have taken the elixir of Senior Douluo, excessive bleeding will also expose the spirit beast aura on your body." "Yes, I understand. Bibi Dong is too powerful, and Wuhan City is her territory. A gentleman's revenge is never too late. We are still young and there will always be opportunities in the future. I promise you that I will kill her with my own hands and avenge your mother." "Brother, don't worry, I won't be impulsive again. If we can defeat Xianshu College tomorrow and get the soul bone rewarded as the champion, we will leave Wuhan City as soon as possible and come to seek revenge on Bibi Dong later." "Yes. It's great that you think so." Time quickly came to the next day. Xiao Han and the Xianshu College group had just arrived at the square in front of the Pope's palace when they saw 3 people coming towards them. It was Ziyu, Hulina and Yam from the Spirit Hall Academy. As the top 3 teams in the finals, the Spirit Hall Academy was eligible to watch the final match between Xianshu Academy and Shrek Academy. Yan looked at Xiao Han and said, "Xiao Han, His Holiness the Pope specially prepared a right-arm soul bone for you as a spare reward. Although I lost to you before, I lost with all my heart. We all refuse to accept losing to the despicable Shrek Academy. We hope you can beat them up for us and win the championship." Xiao Han smiled. "Thank you for informing us about the soul bone in advance. It's a pity that you were plotted against by the little punk and can't become our opponent. To be honest, those ugly people in Shrek are not qualified to be our opponents. Don't worry, the championship will never fall into the hands of those clowns." Ziyu sighed and said, "We are also looking forward to having a good fight with your Xianshu Academy, but we don't have the chance this time. That guy's spider poison is very strong, so you can take care of yourself." After that, the 3 left together. Xiao Han and his group continued to walk towards the center of the square. The Shrek 7 devils were already waiting there. Chapter 90 Crushing Shrek. The finals between Xianshu College and Shrek College officially kicked off. The sun shone on the square in front of the Pope's palace, adding a bit of solemnity to this final showdown. The eyes of the Shrek 7 devils were all focused on Xiao Han. They were defeated by Xiao Han 1-0 in the Xiandao Division Promotion Tournament, which was their most shameful battle. In that game, Ma Hongjin, Daimyu Bei, Xiao Wu and Tang San were all seriously injured. They have been waiting for the opportunity for revenge. Today, it finally came. Daimyu Bei said to Xiao Han, "Finally, I meet your Xianshu College again. Today, I will make you pay for your blood debt with blood." Xiao Han smiled disdainfully and mocked, "Relying on your nether white cat spirit fusion skill? It's still far from it. There is nothing to be proud of for using the evil spirit master's means to win the Spirit Hall College. With your strength, you are not qualified to be our opponent at all." Mo Hongjin was very unconvinced. "What did you say? Who is an evil spirit master? One is a chicken evil fire, and the other uses hidden weapon techniques to sneak attack. If they are not evil spirit masters, then what are they? You fatty, stop talking, adjust your state and prepare for the game." Mo Hongjin was about to say something, but was stopped by Tang San. Tang San's face was calm and he behaved very rationally. He didn't want his emotions to affect his teammates' performance. The game was about to start, and everyone looked at the 2 teams in the center of the square, looking forward to their confrontation. In this Spirit Master competition, Xianshu Academy has never lost a game and has been winning until now. almost crushing all opponents. They are facing Shrek Academy, with the advantages of spirit rings and total spirit power. However, Shrek Academy defeated the stronger Wuhan Hall Academy yesterday, and it should not be underestimated. Bibi Dong looked at Yu Gang, who looked calm, and thought to herself, Xia Gang, how will you deal with it this time? Will it be as unexpected as yesterday? At this time, Yu Gang was a little flustered, but he was just pretending to be calm. He knew that it would take time for Tang San and his team to perform the 7-in-1 fusion, and it would be difficult for them to succeed without Xianshu Academy underestimating their opponents. Prepare for the game. You can release your own martial spirits. With the referee's announcement, the 14 people on the field quickly moved. The 7 people from the Xianshu Academy team, Zhu stood behind Shui Binger, and the other 6 lined up in front, all releasing their own martial spirits and spirit rings. The Shrek 7 Devils did not form an orthodox lineup like they did before, but retreated quickly to form a circle as soon as the referee announced. Ningrongrong and Oscar stood at the innermost part of the circle, and the other 5 people quickly moved around them. None of the 7 of them released their martial spirits first, but strong soul power fluctuations emanated from them, frantically converging towards the center of the circle. What is this? Seeing that scene, Bibi Dong, Ning Fengzi, Jian Douluo, the 2 elders Zhu and Ji Yui, and the cardinals of the spirit hall were all a little surprised. Even though they were knowledgeable, they could not understand what the Shrek 7 Devils were doing. Senior sisters, prepare to attack. Xiao Han shouted loudly. His 3rd and 4th soul rings flashed at the same time, and as he rose into the air, he shot an ice explosion arrow towards the center of the circle. Seeing this, Yu Gang's face changed drastically, and he shouted angrily, "Referee, I protest. The Shrek players have not released their martial spirits yet, the protest is invalid. The game time is up, and it is their own mistake not to release their martial spirits." Boom, the ice explosion arrow exploded before the red cardinal referee finished speaking. Under the huge explosive force, the formation of the Shrek 7 Devils was not broken up. The sum of the soul power released from the 7 of them resisted Xiao Han's sudden attack, and only then did they barely stabilize the formation. However, this also consumed a lot of soul power from the 7 of them. Tang San panicked immediately. Even if he could perform the 7-in-1 fusion, the power would be greatly weakened due to the loss of total soul power. In this situation, he could not afford to think too much. Change. With Tang San's loud shout, the formation of the Shrek 7 Devils suddenly changed. The original circle turned into a vertical line. Tang San stood in the front, followed by Daimyu Bei, Xiao Wu, Ma Hongjin, Zhu Zhuking, Ningrongrong and Oscar. Oscar suddenly hugged Ningrongrong from behind, and when he was about to input soul power into her body, he suddenly felt that his body was out of control. It turned out that Shui Binger launched the group restriction skill, freezing. Not only Oscar, but also several other people in Shrek were frozen. They were all wrapped in a layer of crystal clear ice. At the moment they were frozen, Shen Liu and Gu Qingbo flashed out from the left and right and rushed directly to the back of the team. They aimed at Ningrongrong and Oscar respectively. Bang! Bang! With a shattering of the ice, 2 powerful forces blasted Oscar and Ningrongrong out of the competition venue respectively. After solving these 2 auxiliary divisions, the 7-in-1 fusion could not be completed. The Shrek team lost the ability to fight in the air and could not get attribute enhancement. The sudden attack of the Xianshu team put the Shrek team in an extremely unfavorable situation. Ma Hongjin was the first to break free from the icy shackles with his own evil fire. They were so close that they were almost connected. As Ma Hongjin's evil fire weakened the ice power, Daimyu Bei, Tang San, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuking also broke free from the icy shackles. Prepare the second battle plan, Tang San said, and quickly released his external soul bone and martial soul. Blue silver grass suddenly emerged from the ground and stabbed Shui Binger and the others. Tang San tried to use this to interfere with the attack of the Xianshu team and create an opportunity for Daimyu Bei and Zhu Zhuking's martial soul fusion skills. However, the girls were prepared, and the violent ice blade and water blade attack easily shredded the blue silver grass. The moment they broke through the ice, Xiao Han also launched an attack. Countless ice blue arrows shot at Tang San and the others like a meteor shower. Behind Shui Binger, Zhu Wu had quietly completed the preparations for the martial soul fusion skills. The sky suddenly became overcast, covering the entire square, and large flakes of snow fell. The temperature in the square dropped suddenly. and even those who were watching the game on the sidelines felt an unbearable cold breath. The biting coldness kept attacking Tang San and his companions. With Shui Binger's control, large flakes of snow turned into a snowblade vortex, cutting towards Tang San and his companions. This was one of the forms of the fusion skill of Zhu Wu and Shui Binger's spirit, ice and snow drifting. The snowblade vortex rotated at an astonishing speed, and each snowflake was like a sharp blade, carrying a biting cold wind and a biting killing intent, and soon completely enveloped Tang San, Daimyu Bei, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing. Only Ma Hongjin, who was flying low in the sky, temporarily escaped. They actually have a spirit fusion skill too. Seeing the scene on the field, Hulina blurted out. Chapter 91, 100,000-year soul beast exposed. The sudden change on the field made everyone's eyes locked on the whirlpool of snowflake blades. The people who were watching the game showed an expression of disbelief on their faces. Bibi Dong frowned. She didn't expect that Xianshu Academy actually had such a powerful martial soul fusion skill. She glanced at Uzziah Gang. At this time, Uzziah Gang's face was pale, his hands were clenched into fists, and his heart was full of mixed feelings. The cold snowflake blade seemed to cut him. He should have expected that Xianshu Academy also had soul masters who could perform martial soul fusion skills. But now it was too late. Ning Fengzi and Jian Daoluo looked at each other, and a trace of shock and regret flashed in each other's eyes. The situation of the Shrek team was extremely unfavorable. They couldn't help but worry about the situation of Tang San and others. Ning Rongrong and Oscar were blasted out of the field in advance, and they were not cut by the sharp snowflake blades. It was already a relatively good ending. The two elders, Zhu Daoluo and Ghost Daoluo, exchanged a subtle look. Although they regarded themselves as the position of the Spirit Hall, they secretly praised the excitement of this game. The strength of Xianshu College was undoubtedly beyond their imagination. Ma Hongjin was flying in the air, and his heart was horrified. Even with the protection of the evil fire, he felt a strong chill, not to mention Tang San and his friends. The four people were in the center of the vortex, desperately blocking the snowflake blades that attacked from all directions. Tang San had the iron-hard 8 spider lance to protect his body, and he could resist it for the time being. But Daimyu Bei, Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu were soon left with scars on their bodies. Although the situation was critical, they did not give up, but were looking for opportunities to fight back. Xiao Wu, come here quickly. Daimyu Bei, Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu quickly approached Tang San. Tang San hurriedly spread out 8 4-meter-long spider legs and wrapped the three of them and himself in it. Tang San used the dense barbs on his spider legs to stick to the ground firmly, looking like a black big-bellied spider. He tried to use his iron-hard external soul bone to resist the attack of the Xianshu team and consume their soul power. Seeing this, Ma Hongjin launched the first soul skill at Shui Binger, who dominated the ice and snow, and launched a long-range attack. An extremely hot flame roared towards Shui Binger. Seeing this, Xiao Han took off into the air and shot an arrow at the flame. The blue frost arrow passed through the flame and extinguished it directly. The sharp ice arrow flew straight towards Ma Hongjin. Seeing this, Ma Hongjin dodged quickly. His soul power was less than level 40. He had consumed some of his soul power when preparing for the 7-in-1 fusion before, and consumed some more to break Shui Binger's ice. He just launched the first soul skill at Shui Binger. The remaining soul power was not enough to support him to fly in the air for a long time. After launching the frost shooting at him, Xiao Han did not stop, and immediately launched the second soul skill. Countless ice blue arrows shot at Ma Hongjin like a blanket, leaving him nowhere to escape. Ma Hongjin had to flap his wings to block them. With a scream, Ma Hongjin was shot into a sieve and fell heavily on the edge of the field. Tang San, who was embedded in the ground, suffered a violent attack from Shui Binger and several other girls. Even if the 8 spider lance was as hard as it could be, it also had cracks under the crazy attacks of several people. Seeing this scene, Uzziah Gang, Liu Erlong and Flanders were all distressed. But they all knew that Tang San would not give up easily. When the spider lance was broken, it would be a great opportunity for Tang San to lead the team to reverse the situation. After dealing with Ma Hongjin, Xiao Han quickly landed in front of the girls. Binger, get ready. Xiao Han pulled the bowstring to its full length, and with the 4th spirit ring on his body shining, he shot another ice explosion arrow. Boom, the ice blue arrow hit Tang San, bursting out with a deafening sound. The powerful explosion directly shook Tang San off the ground. Tang San couldn't hold on any longer, and his 4 spider legs exploded. Daimyo Bei, Zhu Huqing and Xiao Wu were all blown away. Zhu Huqing was even blown out of the competition venue. Daimyo Bei relied on his powerful strength to barely stabilize his body. Xiao Wu relied on the teleportation skill to avoid being blown out of the venue. At the moment when Tang San's 4 spider legs exploded, 16 spider spear fragments flew towards Xiao Han and Shui Binger without any warning. This time, Tang San still used the Tang Sex hidden weapon technique, Batwing Reincarnation. However, his evil plan did not work as he wished. At the same time as Xiao Han launched the attack, Shui Binger had already activated the Ice Ring Armor skill. This is a group defense skill. Except for Xiao Han, the 6 girls were all covered with a layer of crystal clear and hard blue armor. The moment those spider spear fragments touched the Ice Ring Armor, they made a crackling sound, but did not pierce it. The spider spear fragments also hit Xiao Han, but Xiao Han was not affected at all. While Tang San and his companions were still unsteady on their feet, Xiao Han launched another attack, with countless ice blue arrows rushing towards the 3 of them. Dozens of ice arrows suddenly merged into one, pointing directly at the injured Tang San. "Brother, be careful." Tang San had already broken 4 spider legs, and had consumed a lot of soul power to resist the invasion of the cold air. If he launched another defense, he might break more spider legs. Xiao Wu couldn't bear to see Tang San suffer more pain, so she teleported in front of him. With the shining of her 4th soul ring, Xiao Wu activated her 4th soul skill, Invincible Golden Body. The golden light instantly enveloped her. The ice arrow hit the golden light and did not dissipate immediately. The freezing effect formed was still there, limiting Xiao Wu's teleportation skill. Xiao Wu's invincible golden body could only last for 3 seconds. But Xiao Han's attack did not stop. A frost arrow followed, and at the moment when Xiao Wu's invincible golden body dissipated, it directly pierced her chest, and blood splattered. A scream came from Xiao Wu's mouth. "Xiao Wu!" Tang San cried out in pain and despair. Black light surged in his left hand, and the clear sky hammer spirit was released. Seeing the scene on the field, Bibi, the 2 elders Zhu Jiyue, Ning Fengzi, Jian Douluo and Douluo were all shocked. It was not because of the clear sky hammer in Tang San's hand, but because of the aura of Xiao Wu. A large amount of blood flowed out, and it was no longer possible to cover up the spirit beast aura on Xiao Wu's body. This is a 100,000-year-old spirit beast that has transformed into a human. Bibi and the 2 elders looked at each other with surprise. However, they did not plan to take action immediately, and wanted to wait until the end of the game. This is the territory of the Spirit Hall, and Xiao Wu has been seriously injured and can't run away. Bibi also thought that it would be best if Xiao Han could get rid of Tang San for her in this game. Only Tang San and Daimyo Bei were left in Shrek Academy. Tang San might still have fragments of the 8 spider lance in his hand, which would threaten the girls of Xianshu Academy at all times. Xiao Han wanted to ensure the safety of the senior sisters. "Binger, take the senior sisters away from the competition venue, and leave the remaining 2 to me." "Xiao Han, I'll stay and help you deal with them." "No, that little jerk is too insidious. I'm afraid he will hurt you." "Don't worry, dealing with them is a piece of cake." "Okay, then be careful." Shui Binger had taken the Acacia Heartbroken Red, which might be able to block Tang San's spider poison, but it was not a very certain thing, and Xiao Han would not let her take risks. Chapter 92 Uzia Gang, You've fallen into the trap. After several girls left the venue, Xiao Han faced a 1-on-2 situation. Without worrying about the safety of his senior sisters, Xiao Han could perform better. Looking at the situation on the field, the 3 heroes of the Spirit Hall couldn't help but sigh. "We made a huge mistake when fighting against Shrek Academy. We should have used the Spirit Fusion technique from the beginning. With the overall strength of our team, we are enough to knock them out of the ring one by one." Yes, the people from Xianshu Academy are very smart. They didn't underestimate the enemy and disrupted the plan of Shrek Academy from the beginning. However, Xiao Han is really a weirdo. He can actually resist Tang San's poisonous spider poison with his physical body. I don't know how he did it. He can resist the poison. It was the right decision to let his teammates withdraw from the competition venue. That little jerk is too insidious and hard to guard against. Now that the little jerk is seriously injured, even if Xiao Han is alone, he can defeat the 2 of them. Xiao Han is really strong. We may find it difficult to win against Xianshu Academy. As the 3 were talking, Xiao Han moved. The moment he flapped his wings and flew, the fifth soul ring on his body shone. The true ice arrow shot out, and the ice storm roared, quickly covering the entire competition venue, wrapping Tang San and Daimube in it. Tang San swung the clear sky hammer like crazy. But even if the chaotic cloak hammer method had great power, it could not pose a threat to Xiao Han in the air. Daimube was helpless. The cold air followed Tang San's broken spider leg and continued to invade his body, as if to freeze his blood. Tang San felt his body gradually becoming numb, his movements became more and more stiff, and the clear sky hammer in his hand seemed to be suppressed. Are we really going to lose? No. I won't accept it. Tang San wanted to struggle again, but the familiar voice sounded in his ears again. Xiao San, hold back, and return to the soul. Hearing that voice, Tang San's rotation speed gradually slowed down. Suddenly, a nice blue light rushed towards him and hit his clear sky hammer fiercely. That was Xiao Han's first soul skill, frost shooting. At the moment when the frost arrow collided with the clear sky hammer, the powerful collision force directly blasted the exhausted Tang San out of the competition venue. Xiao Han immediately shot another arrow, aiming directly at Daimube. Facing the fierce arrow, Daimube used all his remaining soul power to defend. In order to resist the invasion of cold air, he had already consumed a lot of soul power, and was suppressed by the ice and snowstorm, so he could not stop Xiao Han's attack at all. The arrow hit Daimube directly and blasted him out. The blizzard suddenly disappeared. Only Xiao Han was left in the center of the square. We won. Junior brother defeated them. We won. We are the champion team. The girls from Xianshu College couldn't help but cheer for this victory. On the other side, Tang San and Daimube were lying weakly on the edge of the square. Jiangzi was treating Xiao Wu and Ma Hongjin, who were seriously injured. The two were shot through by Xiao Han's true ice arrow. If they were not treated in time, their lives would be in danger. They had already eaten Oscar's recovery mushroom sausage. Ningrongrong was also providing them with soul power enhancement. You guys. Go see the third brother and treat him. Xiao Wu endured the pain in her body. She was more worried about Tang San. Xiao Wu, don't worry. With my dad here, the third brother will be fine, Ningrongrong said, and looked at Ningfengzi behind Bibi Dong, as if asking him for help. She didn't know why Ningfengzi didn't act in time this time. Ningfengzi glanced at Jian Douluo beside him, exchanged a look with him, and then released the 7 treasures glazed pagoda spirit. 3 colorful lights flowed out of the 7 treasures glazed pagoda at the same time, landing on Tang San, Ma Hongjin, and Daimube. But it didn't land on Xiao Wu. Uzaya Gang, Flanders, and the Shrek team members were all confused as to why Ningfengzi didn't help Xiao Wu. Not only that, Ningfengzi quickly put away the 7 treasures glazed pagoda and didn't plan to rescue Tang San and the others with all his strength. When Ningrongrong looked at Ningfengzi again, she found that her father seemed a little helpless. She didn't know what happened and why it happened. Bibi Dong looked back at Ningfengzi and smiled. Master Ning, you did a great job, Pope. My daughter is in the same academy as them. She is not strong enough and should not know about it. Yes, I think so too. Ningfengzi didn't say much, just nodded slightly. He knew that the storm was coming. In the territory of the Spirit Hall, the most important thing was to ensure the safety of his daughter Ningrongrong. After Ningfengzi's simple treatment, Tang San, Daimube and Ma Hongjin were all better. Although they were still seriously injured, they were no longer in danger of life. Xiao Wu was temporarily out of danger after Jiangzi's treatment and Oscar and Ningrongrong's assistance. They all looked in the direction of the Xianshu Academy team with unwilling eyes. At this time, Xiao Han had returned to the team and was sharing the joy with the girls. Uzaya Gang suddenly said, the competition is over. If you lose, you lose. You are all still young. You are the team with the youngest average age among the students participating in the Soul Master competition. You can still participate in the next Soul Master competition. I believe that the champion of the next Soul Master competition must be you. Flanders quickly responded, Xiaogang is right. The little monsters are so outstanding. No one will be your opponent in the Soul Master competition 5 years later. The Shrek 7 devils looked at each other. Xiaogang and Flanders were right. They will definitely shine in the Soul Master competition 5 years later. However, 5 years is such a long time. Who knows what will happen during this period? Liu Erlong supported Xiao Wu, his heart full of anger. Xiao Wu, let's go, let's leave this disgusting place. Okay, Yu Zhigang and his friends were about to leave when they were suddenly stopped by Bibi. Elder Yu, the Soul Master competition is not over yet. Are you in such a hurry to leave? Yu Zhigang looked back at Bibi and said solemnly, Your Holiness, are you referring to the closing ceremony? The remaining championship prize has nothing to do with us. Several of our team members are injured and need treatment and rest, so it is not appropriate for us to stay for long. Bibi smiled slightly. The rewards for this Soul Master competition are different from the past. In addition to the champion, the second and third place winners will also receive corresponding rewards. Shrek Academy is the second place and can get a reward of 20,000 gold soul coins. Don't you want it? After hearing this, the Shrek Academy looked at Flanders. Flanders loves money like his life. The construction and development of the academy requires money, and 20,000 gold soul coins is not a small amount. But now, he can't make up his mind. Zhigang, what do you think? Yu Zhigang sighed. 20,000 gold soul coins are really a lot. They are earned by your hard work, blood and sweat. You can't refuse them. Otherwise, everyone should be patient for a while. The award ceremony should be over soon. Chapter 93 Kill the evil offspring. Tang San together. Xiao Wu was hit by Xiao Han's arrow and bled a lot. Tang San knew that the spirit beast aura on her body had been exposed. He also knew that Bibi said that she would give awards to Shrek Academy together, but in fact she had no good intentions. Bibi and the two elders, Zhu and Ji Yui, must have also felt the spirit beast aura on Xiao Wu. But, for some reason, they were not in a hurry to take action. Perhaps it was because this was the territory of the Spirit Hall, and Bibi did not take them seriously at all. The situation was very dangerous, and now they could only take one step at a time. Tang San also knew that his father Tang Hao was watching him not far away. If they really wanted to fight, Tang Hao would definitely take action. Under the leadership of Yu Zhigang, the Shrek Seven Devils supported each other and returned to the square. Standing next to them were the 7 people from the Spirit Hall Academy. Seeing the miserable state of Tang San, Mo Hongjin and Xiao Wu, the members of the Spirit Hall Academy showed expressions of gloating on their faces. Although the Shrek people were full of anger, they could do nothing. Bibi waved a scepter in her hand lightly, and 3 points of light instantly bloomed, and 3 soul bones appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The original red flame right arm bone was replaced by a white one, and from the shape, it was also a right arm bone. Looking at the 3 soul bones flashing with different lights, the students of Wuhan Hall Academy and Shrek Academy all showed envy. They were all just one step away from the championship. Unfortunately, there is only one champion team, and the most generous reward belongs only to the winner. Congratulations to Xianshu Academy for winning the championship of this year's Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition. These 3 soul bones are your rewards. Bibi finished speaking and waved her hand lightly, and the 3 soul bones floated in front of the captain Schwabinger. Thank you, Your Holiness. Schwabinger carefully took the 3 soul bones and handed them to Lin Zhiruo beside her. President Lin, you keep these 3 soul bones first, okay? I'll distribute them to you after the closing ceremony. Lin Zhiruo took the 3 soul bones and put them into her soul guide. Bibi eyes swept over the 21 students on the field, and then said, You are all the best of the younger generation to make it to the final 3 of this Soul Master competition. The Spirit Hall has prepared other rewards for you. As the champion team, Xianshu College will receive 30,000 gold soul coins, the second place Shrek College will receive 20,000 gold soul coins, and the third place Spirit Hall College will receive 10,000 gold soul coins. As soon as Bibi finished speaking, 3 Spirit Hall guards came over with a brocade plate. The brocade plate was full of golden soul coins. The deans of the 3 colleges, as representatives, received the gold soul coins of their respective colleges. Bibi smiled and said, This Soul Master competition is over now. You can go back. Hearing this, Tang San was shocked. He didn't think Bibi would let Xiao Wu go, and he didn't know what Bibi would do next. Didn't want to fight in front of so many people? Without time to think, Tang San pulled Xiao Wu beside him. Xiao Wu, let's go. Yes, during the awards ceremony. Xiao Wu was very nervous and didn't even dare to look up at Bibi. She knew that the spirit beast aura on her body had been exposed, and she was afraid that she would not be able to leave this square. Wait, Tang San and Xiao Wu just turned around and prepared to leave when they heard Bibi voice. Everyone here can leave, but the spirit beasts can't. Hearing this, everyone was very surprised, and all turned back to look at Bibi, and found that Bibi eyes were fixed on Tang San and Xiao Wu. Yu Zhiagang was a little angry, looking directly at Bibi, questioning, Bibi, what do you mean? How dare you be rude to His Majesty the Pope? A cardinal stood up and wanted to blame Yu Zhiagang. Bibi quickly raised her hand and signaled the cardinal to shut up. She had a smile on her face, and her good mood was not affected by Yu Zhiagang. Elder Yu, do you really not know, or are you pretending to be confused? Tang San has half the blood of a soul beast, but your team actually hides a soul beast that has transformed into a human for 100,000 years. Yu Zhiagang was confused. The other people in Shrek were also shocked. Although they didn't know who Bibi was referring to, they immediately thought of Xiao Wu. The eyes of several people fell on Tang San and Xiao Wu at the same time. Yu Zhiagang asked again, Bibi, the personal grudge between you and me can be resolved privately. There is no need to force it on these children, right? Bibi snorted coldly. I almost forgot that your soul power is less than level 30, which is not enough to identify a soul beast of 100,000 years in human form. I don't know what method she used to cover up the soul beast aura on her body, but it was still accidentally exposed. After Bibi finished speaking, her eyes stared straight at Xiao Wu. If I'm not mistaken, you are the one who escaped the net back then, right, little rabbit? Just as Xiao Wu was about to say something, a strong soul power fluctuation suddenly came. Liu Erlong couldn't bear it anymore, and came to the field at the same time as Flanders. Bibi, even if she is a soul beast, so what? You killed her mother, do you still want to kill her? She is my daughter now, even if she dies here today, I will protect her. Yu Zhiagang's pupils suddenly shrank. He realized that he had fallen into Bibi trap, and that they were kept just to deal with Xiao Wu. Moreover, Liu Erlong had long known about Xiao Wu's soul beast identity. Tang San also hurriedly stood up. It doesn't matter if she is a soul beast. I said I would protect her, and I will protect her forever. If you want to kill her, kill me first. No, brother, Erlong's mother, I don't want you to die for me, I can't implicate you. The other Shrek people also stood up and blocked Xiao Wu. We Shrek 7 devils are a whole, we live and die together. Yu Zhiagang nodded to the Shrek 7 devils, his eyes full of relief. Bibi, even though Xiao Wu is a soul beast that has transformed into human, she has not done anything that harms the world. As long as she is still a member of our Shrek Academy, I will not allow you to hurt her. After Yu Zhiagang finished speaking, he, Flanders, and Liu Erlong released their respective martial arts at the same time. The three of them formed a triangle formation and prepared for battle. Seeing this, Bibi sneered, what a golden iron triangle, how overestimating. You actually go against the spirit hall for a soul beast, good, very good. This 100,000-year-old soft-bone charm rabbit is indeed extraordinary, making each of you willing to die for her. I have captured this rabbit, and anyone who obstructs will be killed without mercy. Two elders, do it. Kill the evil offspring Tang San together. When the two elders Zhu and Gui were about to leave, a loud rumbling sound suddenly came from the sky. Then, an extremely powerful soul wave came down from the sky toward the square. Who dares to touch my son, Tang Hao? Chapter 94 Douluo's Sneak Attack. With a deafening roar, the sky seemed to be torn apart, and a burly figure suddenly descended from the clouds. The extremely violent soul power fluctuations enveloped the entire square in a murderous atmosphere. That figure was Tang San's father, Haoshan Douluo, Tang Hao. Tang Hao's eyes were as deep as the abyss, flashing with anger, his messy hair moved without wind, and his whole body exuded a heart-pounding pressure. Behind him, an extremely huge black hammer floated in the air. He walked slowly in the air, and every step he took seemed to be as heavy as 1,000 pounds, even the dust in the air trembled. Dad, Tang San shouted loudly. After 8 years, seeing Tang Hao again, Tang San was extremely excited, and hope suddenly ignited in his heart. Tang Hao ignored Tang San, but looked at Bibi coldly. Bibi, you are so bold that you dare to touch my son Tang Hao. Tang Hao's voice was low and hoarse, but it contained a power that could shake people's hearts. Every word was like a heavy hammer, hitting Bibi heart. Bibi face suddenly became solemn. She didn't expect Tang Hao to appear suddenly, and she didn't expect that the momentum he exuded was so amazing. Tang Hao, you dare to break into Wuhan City alone. You come just in time, I will make you come but never return. Over the years, Bibi has been practicing hard, and her strength has improved by leaps and bounds, reaching the level of peerless Douluo. She has long wanted to fight with a strong man like Tang Hao to prove her strength. Now is a good opportunity. Come but never return? Humph. I want to see if you have the ability to keep me, Tang Hao. As he spoke, Tang Hao's soul power was boiling, and waves of soul power surged out like a raging wave, tearing the surrounding air into pieces. 9 soul rings of yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 red unfolded around Tang Hao in turn. The huge clear sky hammer in his hand emitted a dazzling light. Looking at the 100,000-year soul ring with red light, everyone present was shocked. Yu Zhigang secretly sighed in his heart, he is worthy of being my idol, this momentum is too strong. There are only a handful of people with 100,000-year soul rings on the Douluo continent. The clear sky hammer has an extremely powerful attack power. With a 100,000-year soul ring, its power is even more immeasurable. Today, whoever dares to touch my son's hair, Tang Hao, will make him bleed on the spot. Tang Hao's voice was like thunder, echoing over the square, and every word was full of unquestionable determination. Seeing this, the 2 elders, Zhu and Ji Yui, paused involuntarily. They had followed a former Pope Kaiang Sunji to capture Tang San's mother, Lan Yinhuang, but they were all defeated by Tang Hao. The other spirit masters of the spirit hall were even more intimidated by Tang Hao's momentum, and no one dared to act rashly. Xiao Han suddenly said, Mom, senior sisters, let's leave here quickly and go to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. Xiao Han knew that the war was about to break out. Tang Hao himself was injured, and if a fight really broke out, he would not be able to escape from here unscathed. His target was the Pope's palace, and he wanted to take Tang San and Xiao Wu away from here by making a feint to the east and attacking in the west. Xiao Han repeatedly beat Tang San, and he was worried that he would be retaliated by Tang Hao. Even with Bibi and the powerful people of the Spirit Hall, the residual power of the war would affect him and his senior sisters who were not very powerful. Jin Ringsu, who pretended to be the Crown Prince Zhu King, was standing at the edge of the square not far away. With many masters secretly protecting her, it would be safer to be with her. Xiao Han and his companions quickly came to Zhu King. At the same time, on the other side, Bibi also released her spirit and spirit ring. As the Death Spider Emperor's spirit was released, a gloomy and terrifying aura instantly filled the entire venue. Surrounding Bibi were 9 spirit rings of yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 and red. But Bibi aura is not as strong as Tang Hao's. 200,000-year spirit rings appeared at the same time, shocking everyone. Tang Hao's deep and powerful voice sounded again, I will make you pay double for what the spirit hall owes me. Let's destroy the Pope's palace today, Tang Hao, you dare, humph. Do you think I dare? As the 7th spirit ring on his body shone, Tang Hao showed his true body. The clear sky hammer in his hand swelled in the wind, the hammer handle was 100 meters long, and the huge hammer head was like a hill. Then, the 100,000-year red spirit ring on his body suddenly lit up, and the black giant hammer in his hand suddenly turned red. Red lines moved rhythmically on the huge clear sky hammer, carrying the power of destroying the heavens and the earth, and with a roar, it fiercely smashed into the Pope's palace behind Bibi and the others. In an instant, the air in the entire square became distorted. Bibi was shocked when she saw this. Tang Hao, you can't succeed, Bibi shouted angrily, and her figure flashed, turning into a black stream of light, and directly faced the falling giant hammer. The 2 elders, Zhu and Ji Yui, and several cardinals of the Spirit Hall followed closely behind, flying up together to meet the clear sky hammer. They would never allow Tang Hao to destroy the Pope's palace. Boom, accompanied by the violent roar, the entire spirit city seemed to be shaking. The soul masters below level 70 in the square fell into a blank in their minds and fainted on the ground. Several figures in the air were smashed down at the same time. For this attack, Tang Hao almost tried his best. Under the powerful shock wave, his blood surged and he spat out a mouthful of blood. The huge clear sky hammer disappeared. Tang Hao, Tang San and Xiao Wu who had fainted also disappeared with the clear sky hammer. Bibi realized after landing that she had fallen into Tang Hao's plan of making a feint to the east and attacking in the west. However, in that situation, she must protect the Pope's palace. If the Pope's palace was really destroyed by Tang Hao, she would not have the face to sit on the Pope's seat. It was just a pity that the 100,000-year soul beast that was almost in her hands was gone. Xiao Han, Lin Zhiruo suddenly shouted loudly. She was anxious when she didn't see Xiao Han. When Tang Hao smashed the clear sky hammer just now, it was powerful. Several people from Xianshu College stood with Jinring Su. The two deans and the two titled Douluo, Thorny Porpoise and Snake Spear, secretly protected them and were not affected by the powerful shock wave. But just when the two deans launched a defense, Xiao Han disappeared. Only a titled Douluo level warrior could take Xiao Han away from everyone in such a short time. Lin Zhiruo, Dean Zhao and the girls were all very nervous. Yu Guan was suddenly startled. Oh no, that kid was not taken away by Tang Hao, Your Holiness, that bastard Tang Hao is too arrogant. This concerns the dignity of the Spirit Hall. We can't let him run away like this. Gui Mei couldn't help but remind him. Shut up. Don't I know what's going on? Don't chase him. It's useless. Lin Zhiruo looked around and still couldn't see Xiao Han. Suddenly she realized something. Not good. Douluo is gone too. Maybe he took Xiao Han away. Dean Zhao, I'll go after him. I'll leave the children to you. After Lin Zhiruo finished speaking, she turned into a stream of blue light and disappeared over the square. Even if she could catch up with Douluo, it would probably be useless. However, she couldn't ignore Xiao Han. She was ready to fight to the death. Chapter 95, Willful Light Feather Douluo. Just when Tang Hao smashed down the hammer, Douluo took advantage of the two deans of Xianshu College to launch a defensive distraction and took Xiao Han away from them at lightning speed. He could have killed Xiao Han immediately. But he thought that Xiao Han had picked a lot of immortal herbs from the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, and it was impossible for him to use them all in such a short time. So, he temporarily spared Xiao Han's life. He wanted to take Xiao Han away from Wuhan City and force Xiao Han to hand over the remaining immortal herbs. If Xiao Han couldn't hand them over, he would threaten Xianshu College with his life and let them take out the 3 soul bones in exchange. In short, he would make Xiao Han pay a heavy price. At this time, Xiao Han couldn't move under Douluo's pressure. The gap in strength between the two was too big, and Xiao Han had no power to resist it all. This was the first time Xiao Han faced such a big crisis since he traveled to this world. He was also nervous, but he knew he had to stay rational. At the critical moment, the snow-colored swan-case immortal grass that could counteract the toxin might save his life. But, there must be a chance. Douluo, you are a titled Douluo, it's not appropriate for you to treat me like this. Besides, I have no grudges against you. Why did you arrest me? Humph. You little bastard stole my immortal grass. Do you think I don't know? Did Tang Sam tell you? He was jealous that I was stronger than him, and wanted to use you to get rid of me. Douluo didn't respond, and suddenly became nervous. A strong pressure suddenly came from the front, forcing him to stop. In the air in front, there was a person wearing a light gray robe, with silver hair, and looking like a teenager. His left eye was covered by his long hair, but a hint of ice blue was faintly revealed. The entire left arm was similar to the ice form, also revealing ice blue. Fifth worshipper, Guangling Douluo. Douluo was shocked and blurted out. Xiao Han was surprised. Seeing the man's appearance, he guessed that it was the fifth worshipper of the Spirit Hall, Guangling Douluo. Guangling Douluo's martial soul is Guangling Divine Bow, with dual attributes of light and ice, and he is a peak Douluo at level 96. He would not appear here for no reason. Douluo was a little panicked, pretending to be calm and said, "It turns out to be Guangling Douluo. I wonder what you mean, Douluo. Let go of that kid, I will let you pass." Guangling Douluo did not take Douluo seriously at all, and his tone was full of disdain. Not only did he have the face of a teenager, but his voice was also similar to that of a teenager. Douluo knew that the peak powerhouse in front of him, who looked like a teenager, had unfathomable strength. However, he would not let Xiao Han go easily. "There is a personal grudge between me and this kid, and he is not from your Wuhan Hall. You don't have to stop me for him, right?" As Douluo spoke, the soul power in his body surged more fiercely, and the green light on his body was strong, and he was obviously ready for battle. Guangling Douluo glanced at Douluo coldly, then looked at Xiao Han beside Douluo and smiled. "Boy, are you willing to take me as your master?" "Of course I am. Master, I am here to pay my respects." Xiao Han hurriedly saluted Guangling Douluo. "Very good, from now on, you will be my disciple." Guangling Douluo nodded slightly, and his eyes fell on Douluo again. Douluo, it is not easy for you to cultivate to the level of title Douluo. This child has taken me as his master. Do you really want me to take action against you? Douluo gnashed his teeth in anger. He was about to succeed, but suddenly a stronger title Douluo came out. Guangling Douluo's behavior was like a child, which made no sense at all. Douluo still didn't want to give up. Guangling Douluo, I have no intention of being your enemy. Why do you have to save him? Just because you both have ice bow spirits, why should I explain my actions to you? Since you don't know what's good for you, don't blame me for being ruthless. Before Guangling Douluo finished speaking, the spirit ring on his body lit up. Seeing this, Douluo immediately released his spirit body, and the huge snake tail of the green phosphorus snake king tightly entangled Xiao Han. In the blink of an eye, Guangling Douluo's longbow was fully drawn, but strangely, there were no arrows on it. He gently loosened his left hand, and 3 invisible arrows shot out at the same time. The invisible arrows were silent and invisible. Spirit masters with lower mental power than him could not feel its existence. The huge green phosphorus snake king suddenly tumbled in the air a few times. Obviously, it was hit by the invisible arrow. While Douluo was struggling, Xiao Han suddenly broke free from his restraints, spread his wings and flew towards Guangling Douluo. Guangling Douluo also spread his ice wings and then attacked Douluo. Douluo's character is as vicious as a poisonous snake. If he doesn't move, he will go all out. He is no match for Guangling Douluo. The blood in the parts of his body that were hit quickly froze and became numb under the powerful freezing effect. If it was just a one-on-one, he might have escaped. But Xiao Han's presence would affect Guangling Douluo's performance. So, he wanted to struggle again and take the opportunity to kill Xiao Han. Douluo's forehead suddenly lit up, and 2 petrifying rays shot out of his eyes, pointing at Guangling Douluo and Xiao Han respectively. This is one of his hidden skills, the 10,000-year skull skill, Medusa's Gaze. This skill is so powerful that it can even petrify energy. That's it, Guangling Douluo snorted coldly. His extreme feather light can just restrain Douluo's soul skill. Countless golden light arrows shot out from Guangling Douluo's longbow, like a meteor shower, and came towards the 2 petrifying rays, engulfing them in an instant. Douluo was shocked when he saw this. This was his first time fighting with Guangling Douluo. He didn't expect this old guy to be so powerful. He was already injured, and the freezing effect was restricting him more and more. If he didn't escape now, it would be too late. Douluo turned into a green light and fled far away. Guangling Douluo mercilessly shot another arrow. The ice blue arrow chased Douluo, who was fleeing in panic like a living thing. That was Guangling Douluo's 5th soul skill, Infinite Arrival, which has the effect of locking and chasing. Douluo, I will spare your life today. If you dare to attack my disciple again, I will definitely kill you with my own hands. Guangling Douluo's voice disappeared into the sky along with a green shadow. Xiao Han was relieved after escaping the disaster by chance. He was amazed to witness the battle between the 2 title Douluos at such a close distance. Guangling Douluo's strength shocked him, as he was also a bow and arrow martial soul with ice attributes. Boy, are you okay? I'm fine, thank you teacher for your help. Guangling Douluo smiled. I heard that you are good at playing ice bows, so I came to see you. As expected, I was not disappointed. You performed very well in the finals. Practice hard, and your future achievements will definitely not be inferior to mine. Teacher, I will work hard. Have you been watching me in the dark just now? Yes, I found that Douluo took you away in the chaos, so I chased after him. Just now Tang Hao almost smashed the Pope's palace. Weren't you worried? If Bibi Dong can't even protect the Pope's palace, then she doesn't deserve to sit on the Pope's chair. Let's go, we should go back. Those people in your academy must be worried to death if they don't see you. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96, Guangling Protects. Bibi Dong was also surprised by Xiao Han's strange disappearance. She originally thought that it was Tang Hao's fault, but she didn't expect Douluo to disappear as well. Obviously, Douluo was also a big suspect. For Bibi Dong, this was not an important matter. Anyway, Xiao Han was not a member of the Spirit Hall. If a genius spirit master like Xiao Han could not be used by the Spirit Hall, Bibi Dong would rather he die. Tang Hao had already taken Tang San and Xiao Wu away. The strange disappearance of Xiao Han and Douluo diverted the attention of Bibi Dong and others. The atmosphere in the square was no longer as tense as before. Uzia Gang, Liu Erlong and Flanders put away their own spirits, and with the help of Ning Fengzi and Jian Douluo, they woke up Dime Yubei and others who had fainted. Lin Zhiruo looked around but still didn't find Xiao Han. Well, thank you for your concern, Brother Zhu, I will pay attention. Before Xiao Han could speak, Lin Zhiruo took out the 3 spirit bones from the storage device. Tell them to get out and leave Spirit City immediately. With Guangling Douluo protecting them, things became different. Then, the 2 figures landed in front of everyone. Great. Xiao Han is back, Xiao Han. Are you okay? Thank you for the compliment. It's me. Lin Zhiruo and Ding Zhao smiled at each other, feeling happy. It's Douluo. He was also worried about Xiao Han's safety. Just when they were all anxious, 2 blue figures suddenly appeared in the sky above the square. Thank you for saving our lives. We are honored that you can accept Xiao Han as our disciple. Xiao Han injured Tang San and offended Tang Hao. If he didn't join Spirit Hall, Bibi Dong would not let him go easily. Okay, Bibi Dong had her own plan, so there was no need to turn against him for 3 soul bones. Bibi Dong glanced at Yu Xiagang and Liu Erlong angrily. I agree too, Shui Binger asked anxiously. She never thought that Guangling Douluo would actually support Xiao Han, whom she had never met. We can win the championship of the Soul Master competition. Xiao Han has made the greatest contribution. Let Xiao Han distribute it. You're welcome. This child is gifted and has some fate with me. I can't teach him anything, but I just don't want him to be harmed by bad people. Douluo has been injured by me, and he should remember it, Your Majesty. How should these people be dealt with? Bibi Dong said, and strode towards the Pope's Hall. The several worshippers of the Wuhan Hall have been practicing in the worship hall, and they will not come out unless there is something serious. Xiao Han smiled. Bibi Dong was secretly angry in her heart. Brother Xiao Han, it is a blessing that you can escape the clutches of Douluo. However, you still have to be more careful about him in the future. She wanted to kill Liu Erlong immediately, but now was not the time. Guangling Douluo said this not only to them, but also to warn Bibi Dong, Ning Fengzi and others not to have any ideas about Xiao Han. Xiao Han, this token is left to you. Seeing it is like seeing me. If you encounter any difficulties in the future, you can come to Wuhan City to find me. I have heard of your name for a long time. It is an honor to meet you today. Okay, thank you, teacher. Zhu King came to Xiao Han and the others. It's time for us to return to Xiandao City. Let's go together so that we can take care of each other on the way. After Lin Zhiruo finished speaking, she handed the 3 soul bones to Xiao Han. The few people looked at each other. The 3 soul bones respectively emitted blue, white and green light, instantly illuminating the carriage. Most of the routes from Wuhan City back to Xianshu City are the same as those back to Xiandao City. Shui Yuer suggested, I'll go first. Be careful to protect yourself, then let's go together. The square was completely calm again. No, is this Guangling Douluo, our leader of ice attributes and the 5th worshipper of the Spirit Hall? Xiao Han, you can distribute it. Lin Zhiruo and the girls were all very excited. Xiao Han and his group left the Spirit City together with the Royal Knights, led by Zhu King. It was Xiao Han and Guangling Douluo. I don't know if he is still in the Spirit City. If he really falls into Douluo's hands, I'm afraid. Guangling Douluo stood up to support Xiao Han at this time, making his personal safety more secure. Although Xianshu College won the championship award, it was not easy to take the 3 soul bones away. Xiao Han gave each of them a fairy grass to help them improve their strength and cultivation speed. Each of them was very grateful to Xiao Han. Ding Zhao looked at Guangling Douluo and was shocked. Lin Zhiruo bowed to Guangling Douluo again. After Guangling Douluo finished speaking, he turned into a blue stream of light and disappeared over the square. Xiao Han was also a little embarrassed. Yu Guan couldn't be Xiao Han's teacher, but they could be friends. He hoped that he would live well after taking the cure in Tong Xianzhu. Looking at the direction where Guangling Douluo left, Yu Guan was secretly happy in his heart. Xiao Han, it's great that you can return safely. These 3 soul bones were originally prepared for the 3 geniuses of the Spirit Hall. They are all of excellent quality. The age of the head soul bone has reached 50,000 years, and the right arm bone and left leg bone have reached 30,000 years. Dean Lin, look, Lin Zhiruo, Xiao Han, and Shui Binger were sitting in a big carriage. The person in front of them was exactly the appearance of Guangling Douluo in the rumors. I agree, Xiao Han, you call Senior Guangling your teacher, Dean Lin, how about it? Have you seen Xiao Han? Soul bones are precious, but there are only 3 of them, and how to distribute them is also a big problem. She was not sure whether Xiao Han was still in the Spirit City, so she returned to the square in front of the Pope's palace. The 3 soul bones awarded as the champion of the Soul Master competition were still on her. He knew that the wisdom skill was most suitable for Shui Binger, who is a control type. The left leg soul bone was most suitable for Shui Yuir and Gu Qingbo, who were agile attack types, and the right arm bone that could increase attack power was suitable for everyone. Dean Zhao, Mom, Douluo took me away in the chaos just now, and it was my teacher who saved me. Lin Zhiruo was full of anger, and suddenly reacted. Well, I have already worshipped Senior Guangling as my teacher. This matter is a long story, and I will tell you slowly later. The girls were all convinced by Xiao Han. Mom, Dean Zhao, senior sisters, I made you worry. I'm fine. Dean Zhao, Lin Zhiruo and the girls from Xianshu College all bowed to Guangling Douluo. Xiao Han shined in the finals, and invisibly offended many people, and his situation became dangerous. Yu Guan looked at the people from Shrek and asked, Tang Hao just left, and another Guangling came. Guangling Douluo is loyal to the angel lineage, very willful, and rarely interacts with Bibi Dong. We are safe for now. We still have some time to return to Xianshu City. Why don't you absorb the soul bone on the way? Xiao Han took the offering token from Guangling Douluo. She had never seen Guangling Douluo, but she had heard that Guangling Douluo looked like a teenager, with an ice blue left eye and left arm. Chapter 97 Skull, Invisible Arrow. Xiao Han carefully took the 3 soul bones, and then handed the head soul bone with a faint blue glow to Shui Binger. Binger, from the preliminaries to the promotion games, and then to the finals, your performance in the competition is obvious to all. This head soul bone is the most suitable for you, Shui Binger shook her head repeatedly. No. It's too expensive. Without you, we can't win the championship of the Soul Master competition. This soul bone should be given to you. You are a control system, and you need it more than me. I'm not completely a control system, and you're not completely a strong attack system. Don't the characteristics of your soul skills also have control effects? So, it is also suitable for you. Shui Binger was determined and would not accept this soul bone no matter what. Xiao Han, the captain is right, just accept it. Yes, you accept it. The girls all agreed with Shui Binger's idea. Level 60. The 50,000-year-old head soul bone is indeed extraordinary. After Xiao Han finished speaking, he handed the right arm soul bone with a faint white glow to Shui Binger. Seeing Xiao Han wake up, Lin Zhiruo asked expectantly, Binger, this right arm soul bone is for you, don't refuse it anymore. He knew that Tang Hao caused the recurrence of his old injury in order to save him and Xiao Wu. The girls were very modest. After the soul power of 100,000-year soul beast reaches level 60 after transformation, it will enter the mature stage, and even the soul master of the title Douluo level cannot see their soul beast identity. But before that, he must become stronger quickly to avenge himself, Xiao Wu, and the Shrek people who were seriously injured by Xiao Han. It's okay, it's just a recurrence of the old injury, cough cough. Xiao Han secretly marveled in his heart. He could clearly feel that his thinking became more agile, and he could even capture the subtle soul power fluctuations in the air. This ability will undoubtedly play a vital role in the battle. Deep in the mountains. Well, I agree with Sister Hai Ro's idea, don't worry, she is safe. I let her go. She is still too weak and should not come to the human world. Shui Yuir and Gu Qingbo smiled at each other. This skill greatly increased Xiao Han's attack power. This left leg soul bone that can increase speed is most suitable for Yuir and Qingbo sisters of the agility attack system. Of course, it is also suitable for the other sisters, and can increase your speed. It's a pity that there is only one piece, otherwise we can decide by drawing lots. Xiao Han, Binger, Yuir, you absorb the soul bones now, I will protect you. You can practice with peace of mind. After Shui Binger absorbed the right arm soul bone, her soul power increased by more than one level, reaching level 57, and obtained a soul bone skill with both burst and freezing effects. Xiao Han, you finally absorbed the soul bone, how do you feel? Good. The soul master with lower mental power than him could not detect the existence of the invisible arrow. Is this the change brought about by the 50,000-year head soul bone? Xiao Han continued. Yu Harao smiled. The next day, Xiao Han and Shui Binger went their separate ways. Lin Zhiruo also nodded to Xiao Han. Okay, Xiao-san, when you recover from your injury, I will give you special training. When the time is right, I will tell you where she is. Shui Yuer's soul power increased by 2 levels, reaching level 47, and obtained a soul bone skill that allows her to move forward at high speed, further increasing her speed. Although the invisible arrow is silent, it has extremely strong penetrating power and freezing effect. After several fierce battles in the Soul Master competition, Xiao Han's soul power increased very quickly, and it was close to level 58 after the competition. Congratulations, Yuer, it was now time for a break, and the carriage stopped moving. Okay, don't push each other around, just toss a coin to decide. The front side will go to Yuer, and the back side will go to Sister Kingbo. There was still a left leg soul bone left to be distributed. Xiao Han, since it is most suitable for Yuer and Kingbo, let them draw it. After absorbing the energy of the head soul bone, it increased by more than 2 levels, directly reaching level 60, and it was time to get the next soul ring. Gu Kingbo said, it feels good. My mental power has made a qualitative leap. My soul power has directly broken through the 60th level. Then, Xiao Han and the other 2 began to absorb soul bones, and the others also calmed down to practice. Xiao Han, how can soul bones be so easy to obtain? The immortal herbs you gave us are enough. They are much more precious than soul bones. Everyone was in a good mood. Then listen to Xiao Han. When he opened his eyes again, his eyes flashed with a deeper and brighter light, and all his perceptions became clearer. Time passed by minute. Have Binger and Yuer absorbed the soul bones. Shui Yuer carefully took the soul bone. On the other side, the head soul bone has been perfectly integrated with Xiao Han, allowing his mental power to make a qualitative leap. Then, Xiao Han got off the carriage and shared the joy of progress with everyone. While Tang Hao was talking, he coughed up a mouthful of blood. Tang San felt sorry for Tang Hao, and his will for revenge became stronger. Xiao Han threw out a gold soul coin. Xiao Han, it looks like we have to go our separate ways with Binger and the others. Yes. They're outside. Let's go down too. Everyone is waiting for you. Shui Binger smiled gently and shook the soul bone. It's the front side. Then this soul bone will be given to Yuer. Yu Harao joked. Xiao Wu is still far from level 60, and Tang Hao doesn't want Tang San to waste his energy on her. Okay, I'll toss the coin. The girls all looked over expectantly. It's revealed. Yuer is younger than me. Give it to Yuer. Xiao Han slowly released his right hand, and the front side of the gold soul coin came into everyone's sight. Dad, are you injured? Okay, then I'll take it. Xiao Han took out a gold soul coin and smiled. As the head soul bone absorbed, a stream of cold and pure energy slowly flowed into Xiao Han's mind, bringing an unprecedented freshness and comfort. He will definitely settle this account with the spirit hall in the future. Xiao Han, wait. If I don't take revenge, Tang San, will not be a human being. There were only Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo in the car. Lin Zhiruo said to everyone. Xiao Han said, yes, he and Lin Zhiruo went to the frozen forest to hunt soul beasts and obtain their 6th soul rings. The skill Xiao Han obtained was the invisible arrow, which could concentrate mental power. With the control of the mind, the ice arrows were invisible and silent, and attacked the enemy mentally and physically. Tang San woke up from his coma and saw only Tang Hao, but not Xiao Wu. He was very anxious. Gu Kingbo did not feel disappointed because he missed this left leg soul bone, but gave Shui Yuer a sincere blessing. Combined with a single attack soul skill, it can cause 100% additional damage to the enemy. Yes, this soul bone can only play a greater role in them. Senior sisters, there are only 3 soul bones, so let's divide them like this for now. If there is a chance in the future, I will arrange it for you. No. Give it to Sister Kingbo. The gold soul coin spun in the air for a few circles, and then fell steadily into Xiao Han's right palm. Dad, where's Xiao Wuren? Then you're welcome. Thank you everyone. Chapter 98 Another Soul Bone, 60,000 years. Dean Zhao led Shui Binger and his party back to Xianshu College. Meanwhile, Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo arrived at the frozen forest. This time, their goal was to hunt a soul beast with a cultivation of more than 50,000 years to make Xiao Han's 6th soul ring. The outer edge of the forest was mostly low-level soul beasts, and the two moved towards the center of the forest. The surrounding scenery became more and more desolate, with sparse trees and thick snow on the ground. Every step was trampled by snow. The cold wind was as sharp as a knife, and Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo moved forward into the depths of the forest unswervingly. After several days of searching, they finally found their target in a hidden valley, a huge soul beast. The soul beast was more than 6 meters long, and its body was covered with crystal-clear ice armor, like a moving iceberg, emitting a heart-pounding cold. The crystal-clear ice armor flashed dazzlingly in the sun, as if it was indestructible. Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo looked at each other. Lin Zhiruo and Xiao Han smiled at each other. Yes. Xiao Han, your spiritual power perception is stronger than mine now. You found it first. Lin Zhiruo took a closer look, and was shocked when she found the source of the blue light. After absorbing the 50,000-year-old spiritual skull, Xiao Han's spiritual perception was raised to an unprecedented level. He felt the existence of this soul beast earlier than Lin Zhiruo. The ice bear let out a final wail, and its huge body fell down. Then, it pounced on Xiao Han like a blue lightning, and its speed was astonishing. Okay. Although it's a bit reluctant, I believe you can withstand its power. When it is weak, it will be easier to take it down. Okay, Xiao Han, bear with it for a while, and continue to consume it. Lin Zhiruo was still concentrating on waiting by the side. Xiao Han did not give it a chance to breathe, and then another arrow. She knew that this ice bear with strong defense was not easy to deal with, and it would only waste soul power if she attacked it easily. Xiao Han pulled the bowstring again, and the skull soul skill was linked with a frost shooting, and an invisible arrow with powerful penetrating power quietly took shape. Its huge bear paws slammed the ground. As time passed, Xiao Han's breathing gradually became even. The invisible arrow collided with the ice armor, making a crisping sound, but it only left a mark on the solid ice armor and did not penetrate it. A wisp of black mist slowly rose from the body of the ice armor bear and began to condense. Seeing this, Xiao Han's eyes condensed, and he quickly adjusted his posture. The fourth soul skill, Ice Explosion Arrow, was ready to go. Then, Xiao Han began to absorb the soul ring. When his state was adjusted to the best, the 60,000-year-old black soul ring had completely condensed and formed. Both of them felt the pressure of this force and had to retreat quickly to avoid being involved. After dodging the attacks of the snow blades, Xiao Han dived down again. Seeing that the time was right, Lin Zhiruo's seventh soul ring suddenly flashed and released her martial soul true body. This energy ripple was like a sharp blade, and wherever it passed, trees broke one after another. She could feel an increasingly strong fluctuation of soul power from Xiao Han. Constantly provoking it and inducing it to continue to launch powerful attacks would cause a lot of consumption to it. The ice armor bear is one of the bear soul beasts. In addition to the characteristics of the infinite power of bear soul beasts, it also has extremely powerful ice armor defense. Mom, then use it as my sixth soul ring. Roar! The ice armor bear felt the sudden attack and roared angrily. Its huge body shook violently, and the snow around it was shaken and splashed everywhere. In an instant, the surrounding ground seemed to be hit by a giant hammer and trembled constantly. The snow was lifted high and turned into snowblades in the air, flying towards Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo. His soul power surged all over his body, condensed on the arrow, aimed at the only exposed head of the frozen body, and shot an arrow. Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo quickly dispersed, releasing their own martial spirits and spirit rings at the same time, besieging the ice-armored bear from both sides. This made her feel much more at ease. The ice-armored bear had consumed too much energy, and struggled angrily and feebly, but could not break free from the shackles of absolute zero. The arrow drew a cold trajectory in the air and hit the target accurately. Both of them had the ability to fly. This arrow contained the power of ice and cold fire at the same time. Xiao Han, retreat quickly, don't be greedy for a fight, Mom, that's an ice-armored bear with a cultivation base of 60,000 years. However, the ice-armored bear did not give up. It roared again, and the ice armor on its body suddenly emitted a more dazzling light. It's a spirit bone, what a powerful defense. Lin Zhiruo believed that with Xiao Han's current condition, he could withstand the spirit ring of 60,000 years. Xiao Han's heart trembled, and he pulled the bowstring to full while flying high into the sky, ready to launch a counterattack. Xiao Han, you succeeded. Adjust your state and prepare to absorb the spirit ring. He knew that only by facing such a strong enemy could he test his strength. This arrow directly pierced its forehead. With a roar, A violent explosion occurred on the head of the ice armor bear, and the thick ice armor on its head was suddenly covered with tiny cracks. Suddenly, a little ice blue light shone from the body of the ice armor bear. Almost in the aftermath of the previous arrow explosion, this invisible arrow also hit the head of the ice armor bear directly, completely shattering the cracked ice armor. The tentative attack did not cause substantial damage to the ice armor bear, but Xiao Han was not discouraged. Instead, a trace of excitement flashed in his eyes. Xiao Han's first spirit ring and the spirit bone on his forehead flashed at the same time. Sure enough, after the ice armor bear launched several consecutive fierce attacks, its speed slowed down, and its offensive was not as fierce as the previous 2 times. Xiao Han couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Roar. Moreover, the more powerful the soul beast, the greater the improvement after absorbing its spirit ring. Starting from the second soul ring, Xiao Han absorbed soul rings that were beyond the limit of what ordinary soul masters could bear, and the age of soul rings was much longer. But Xiao Han's expression was very relaxed. Except for the sweat on his forehead, he did not show any pain or struggle. Xiao Han sat cross-legged and began to adjust his state. In this battle, Xiao Han launched more attacks and got a good exercise. The first soul skill, frost shooting and skull skills, were combined into one. And an invisible arrow with strong penetrating power shot at the ice bear without warning. The ice bear's counterattack was quite powerful this time, and if you were not careful, you might be seriously injured. Lin Zhiruo has not released her martial soul body until now. Lin Zhiruo was guarding him nervously and expectantly. Xiao Han absorbed the fairy grass and the excellent quality spirit skull, and his physical strength and mental strength were incomparable to ordinary people. A more powerful energy wave burst out from the ice bear's body, accompanied by a deafening roar, and circles of ice blue energy ripples spread around it. The ice bear launched a counterattack with a roar. Xiao Han, it's time. A powerful freezing force surged out of her body, instantly freezing the exhausted ice armor bear in crystal clear ice except for its head. Although the ice armor bear has extremely strong strength and defense, it is simple-minded and has a bad temper. Chapter 99 High Explosive Penetration. 3 hours later, Xiao Han woke up from absorbing the soul ring. He opened his eyes and felt the changes in himself. The soul power growth brought by the 60,000-year soul ring was amazing. He could clearly feel the surge of soul power in his body, like a river flowing into the sea. The improvement of overall strength is not as simple as having an extra soul ring. As a power-type ice-attributed soul beast, the soul ring of the ice bear gave Xiao Han an obvious power increase. The indestructible ice armor also brought him a certain defense bonus. In addition to these, Xiao Han also found that his mental power was further enhanced. Lin Zhiruo looked at Xiao Han and felt that the aura emanating from his body had changed a lot after he absorbed the soul ring. The improvement in strength made him look more calm and confident. What unexpected gains! The cold arrow was flowing with blue ice crystal patterns, emitting a palpitating light. That's right. I originally planned to discuss this with you after obtaining the 6th soul ring. Douluo has already wanted to kill me. As long as he's not eliminated, he will be a huge threat to me, you, Binger and the others, and even to the entire Xianshu Academy. It will be too late when he comes to our door, so we have to take the initiative to attack. Very good, my soul power has increased by 2 levels and has broken through the 64th level. This right arm soul bone not only increases my ice power again, but also gives me powerful defensive skills. Lin Zhiruo took out the soul bone while speaking. Xiao Han's eyes suddenly lit up when he touched the soul bone, and his face showed an incredible surprise. Xiao Han, you absorbed the soul bone so quickly, how do you feel? Hearing this, Lin Zhiruo's heart trembled. Xiao Han believed that he and his mother alone could kill Douluo by surprise. Well, we, mother and son, will definitely kill him. Mom, I feel like I've been reborn. What? You want to deal with Douluo? Mom, just the 2 of us will go. I asked the teacher. Douluo is seriously injured, his combat power has been reduced by half, and his injuries cannot be healed within half a year. When he recovers, he will definitely come to me, and it will be more difficult to deal with him. Instead of being passive, it is better to take the initiative, so the sooner we go to him, the better. Seeing this, Lin Zhiruo's eyes flashed with a hint of surprise, and she praised, judging from the shape, it is a right arm soul bone. Mom, I want you to absorb this soul bone for another purpose. It can help you improve your strength, so that we will be more confident to deal with Douluo. This is a 60,000-year-old ice soul bone, which is no worse than the 50,000-year-old head soul bone he absorbed before. Speaking of Douluo, Lin Zhiruo's heart also ignited a bolt of anger. Okay, you're lucky. A soul bone dropped from that ice bear. Mom, is this the soul bone for the right arm? Watch it, Mom. Lin Zhiruo was determined, and Xiao Han no longer refused. He took the soul bone and sat down to absorb it. More importantly, Douluo has always been arrogant and looked down on others, and underestimating the enemy is a taboo. It only took half an hour for Xiao Han to completely merge with his soul bone for the right arm. He looked at Lin Zhiruo with gratitude in his eyes. The process of absorbing the soul bone went smoothly. Lin Zhiruo shook her head. Well, let's feel it, then. The two walked to the outskirts of the forest, talking about the plan to outwit Douluo. After a while, Xiao Han calmed down his excitement. At the same time, the arrow pierced through two hard ice crystal rocks without any damage. Lin Zhiruo nodded with satisfaction. After Xiao Han finished speaking, he released his right arm soul bone, and his entire right arm instantly turned ice blue. A layer of seemingly indestructible ice crystals quickly spread from his right arm, instantly covering his entire body, like armor. Lin Zhiruo handed the soul bone to Xiao Han. She understood what Xiao Han meant. Douluo was injured by Douluo, and his combat power was greatly weakened. At this time, he might have some chance of winning if he went to seek revenge on him. As he spoke, Xiao Han released his martial soul and the sixth soul ring. Your soul power has increased by 2 levels, and the new soul skill you obtain has extremely strong explosive power and penetrating power. I call it high explosive penetration. You are right to worry. Douluo is cruel and ruthless. Even if you have Douluo to protect you, he will not give up. However, it is not so easy for the two of us to kill him, unless Ding Zhao goes with us. But if Ding Zhao also goes, the situation will change. If we fail to kill him, our entire Xianshu College will suffer. What a great high explosive penetration. It has both powerful penetrating power and freezing effect. This time you absorbed the soul ring, your attack power has increased a lot. Xiao Han, you finally absorbed the soul ring. How do you feel? Xiao Han laughed, and then said, this soul skill is linked to my skull skill. Not only can it achieve an invisible effect, but it can also double its power. When the right arm soul bone is released, the power of this handing arrow shot out can be increased by 100%. This soul skill combines the power of the ice bear and the powerful attack of ice attributes. It has strong penetration and also has a freezing effect. It is my strongest single attack skill so far. Xiao Han stood up and stretched his limbs, with a satisfied and happy smile on his face. The arrow shot out with a sharp sound of breaking through the air and shot towards 2 ice crystal rocks not far away. Xiao Han explained, it is crystal clear, exuding a faint chill, flashing a dreamy blue luster, and seems to contain extremely powerful chill and power. The fragrant Kilo Fairy product can neutralize all toxins and restrain Douluo's snake venom. Mom, you don't have a soul bone yet, you can absorb this soul bone. Xiao Han took it carefully, stretched out his hand and gently touched it, feeling the majestic power contained in it. The moment the ice crystal arrow touched the rock in front, it directly penetrated it, and then penetrated another rock. Very good. Xiao Han, we have an unexpected gain this time. Xiao Han was not worried about Douluo's green phosphorus snake king poison, as he already had a body that was immune to all poisons. Lin Zhiruo knew that Xiao Han would not do anything without confidence. She still remembered that Xiao Han had mentioned to her the method of using the fairy grass to deal with Douluo's Xiao Han. I understand what you mean. But you are the one who needs to improve your strength more. Hurry up and absorb this soul bone. In addition, there is a snow swan kiss that can increase the poison by thousands of times. Once it touches Douluo's wound, he will be attacked by the snake venom and die from the poison. Seeing Xiao Han's strength improve, Lin Zhiruo was very happy. After hearing this, Lin Zhiruo couldn't help but reveal a look of curiosity and expectation. Xiao Han, although Douluo is injured, we still have to plan carefully. Tell me your specific ideas, silly boy, this is your chance. You just absorbed the soul ring of the ice bear. Its soul bone is undoubtedly the best supplement for you. Once the fusion is successful, your strength will make another qualitative leap. After Douluo died, he could take the dragon bone at the bottom of the yin-yang eye of ice and fire with peace of mind. Xiao Han, How much has your soul power increased? What soul skills have you obtained? With a continuous improvement of strength, Xiao Han's future will undoubtedly be brighter. Chapter 100 Douluo, let's end it. Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo arrived at the Sunset Forest, 200 miles east of Xiandao City. Along the way, the two discussed the detailed plan to deal with Douluo before entering the forest. Xiao Han handed the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal product to Lin Zhiruo. Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal product is the nemesis of all poisons. It has the effect of neutralizing all toxins. It cannot detoxify itself, but it can overcome poisons. Xiao Han had always carried it with him before, and used it when looking for soul beasts and protecting teammates. To find Douluo, you have to pass through his carefully arranged green phosphorus snake venom array and be attacked by his venom. With the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal product, Douluo's snake venom is no longer a threat to Lin Zhiruo. The two entered the Sunset Forest together. The light around them gradually dimmed, and the dense trees were like huge guardians, quietly watching the two uninvited guests, making people's nerves unconsciously tense. At this time, only 1 month had passed since Douluo was injured by Guangling Douluo. Xiao Han grinned. Xiao Han knew that the environment of the yin-yang eye of ice and fire was conducive to healing, but with Douluo's physical condition, he could not stay there for a long time. That's right, don't you want to kill me? It's just right, let's make an end. You were injured by my teacher and are already half crippled. Do we need so many people to deal with you? My mother and I are enough. A gust of cold wind suddenly blew away the surrounding fog in an instant, filling the entire space with an indescribable gloomy and terrifying atmosphere. After saying that, both of them spread their wings and flew straight into the green phosphorus snake poison formation. Now, their strength has made great progress, so they dare to challenge Douluo your fairy grass? Is such a large sunset forest yours? What right do you have to take those fairy grass for yourself? I just picked the fairy grass that originally belonged to this forest. I didn't touch the herbs you transplanted yourself, it turned out to be you. He didn't believe that these two people dared to trespass into his territory. Maybe they had companions. Douluo could sense the changes in Xiao Han, and his aura was stronger than before. You two dare to come and make peace with me? Good, very good. But before I kill you, I want to ask you a question. How did you know about the existence of the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire and those immortal herbs and find them there? A trace of cold murderous intent flashed across his eyes. Mom, are you afraid? He was still young at that time, and Lin Zhiruo was only at the soul saint level. What are you afraid of? This day will come sooner or later. As you said, if Douluo is not removed, there will be endless troubles. But, to be honest, challenging a title Douluo with just the two of us is the craziest thing I have ever done in my life. Douluo was furious, but he was not in a hurry to attack Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo. Douluo was originally healing his wounds near the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, using the unique environment to speed up his recovery, but he didn't expect that someone would dare to break into his territory at this time. A dark green mist in front blocked the sight of the two people. This was Douluo's green phosphorus snake venom formation. Xiao Han soon found the inverted cone-shaped valley. Under the cliff on the side of the mountain was the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Suddenly, Xiao Han felt a strong energy fluctuation coming rapidly. Asshole! It was me who discovered that treasure land and carefully took care of those immortal herbs for many years. It is my territory, Xiao Han asked, a soul Douluo at level 84 and a soul emperor at level 64. Challenging a title Douluo at level 92 is tantamount to seeking death. It has only been a short month, and his strength has greatly improved. No wonder he is so confident. What was even more unexpected was that the people who came were Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo. Therefore, he would not recover from his injuries in such a short time. Douluo smiled disdainfully and said coldly. Douluo's figure swept out from the bottom of the mountain like a ghost. Yes, Mom, Douluo is here, old poison, don't wrongly accuse a good person. My mom knows nothing about fairy herbs. I was the one who picked those fairy herbs, and it has nothing to do with my mom. When Xiao Han said this, he looked directly at Douluo, appearing very confident, without the slightest fear. Xiao Han also snorted disdainfully. The sudden appearance of Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo made him feel unbelievable. Fortunately, Douluo was half disabled. Mom, this is indeed crazy. But the arrow is on the bowstring and has to be shot. I believe we can defeat him. Out of caution, he asked tentatively. Douluo suddenly felt a faint fragrance, and that special fragrance had a familiar feeling. Both of them made up their minds. Xiao Han remembered the first time he came here and was suppressed by Douluo. Looking around, Xiao Han only felt a breath of soul beasts, and did not feel the presence of Douluo. Boy, you are so brave to talk to me in this tone. It seems that you came to find me on purpose. Lin Zhiruo nodded slightly. In addition, he also wanted to know how Xiao Han knew about the existence of the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire and took away those immortal herbs. Xiao Han and Lin Zhiruo were getting closer and closer to the center of the forest, and the atmosphere around them became more and more oppressive. Xiao Han, you are so bold to come to my door. You have studied medicinal herbs for so many years, and those immortal herbs are right next to you, but you don't know it at all. Even Tang-san knows them, but you don't. You are a dying man, and there is no need for me to discuss this issue with you anymore. You broke into my medicine garden and stole my immortal herbs. He knew that Douluo was suspicious, and even if he told the truth, Douluo might not believe it. Where are your accomplices? Stop being sneaky, call them out. So, when you first came here, you were already thinking about my immortal herbs? The gloomy eyes fell on Lin Zhiruo and found that the fragrance was emanating from her. He was worried that they had other companions hiding in the dark. Douluo was full of murderous aura, his voice was low and full of majesty, his eyes flashed with fierceness, and he looked around vigilantly. After careful feeling, Douluo did not find any other breath except the two people in front of him. It is also possible that he is not on this forest, but recuperating somewhere else. In short, we'd better be careful, Mom. Douluo may be recuperating in his nest and has no energy to patrol around, so he hasn't noticed our arrival. Douluo felt even more incredible. Douluo was injured and couldn't use his full strength. This battle was a matter of life and death, but they were fearless. Douluo was completely enraged. Moreover, once the poison attack that he was proud of lost its effect, his combat effectiveness would be greatly reduced. After Xiao Han finished speaking, he and Lin Zhiruo released their martial arts at the same time, ready to deal with this sudden crisis. Well, since we are here, there is nothing to worry about, you little thief. I will cut you into pieces. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.